speedrun? I assume it is. I don't know what it is. It was just somebody who uploaded a Minecraft video with a time. I assume it's a speedrun. If it's not a speedrun, I don't know what it is. Sunday picture? Let me check. Oh no, it was Windcraft. Oh no, I used it for Fatal 12 too. We have another one. Let's use this one. Okay, I don't think, yeah, nothing's capturing. Cool. Gotta change the audio. And then gotta change the game. Actually, I don't think, does full screen work with this? I don't know if it does.
You can only buy this Splendid at the
Oh, it does. Cool, they fixed it.
Delicious.
I think it used to not work. The audio thing always happens. I don't know what's up with that. I might have already solo rated, in which case we can just move on. I think I may have already solo rated, in which case we can just move on to Fatal 12. Did I already solo raid? No. We still got a little bit more time to solo raid. What's my score at right now? Oh, not good. Is there anything I can do to make my teams less scuffed in the meantime? I don't think there is. I could level up some of Ray's stuff. Let's look at the teams we're using real quick first. It's this team. This team, my electric team sucks right now. I don't have Quincy, so we're just kind of coping. These two are really carrying right now. The shotgun team gets through, it just has no damage. This team actually does decently well as well. It's this team that does really poorly because I have no like screen wipe, and none of these are good characters for getting rid of all of the little bombs and everything that Land Eater sends out. So I don't even know. Mods in this team, and I think Ray has a screen wipe. I don't think any of them have a screen wipe, but with Red Hood and Ludmilla, it doesn't really matter at all. Actually, I think all three of these characters have screen wipes. I'm pretty sure. I know that Privity and Noirs are screen wipes. I think that Soda's is also a screen wipe. This team just doesn't have damage because Shotgun sucks. Also, we're not running Alice and Leona because we're running bunnies. And then this team obviously has no problems. Is there a better team I can make? Should I just leave this one to last and see if we can make a team out of what's left? Because we're using up RAM and volume here, and we're using up D and Schoolgirls here, And then we're using bunnies here. We're using leader and crown here. So we kind of like don't have anything left for this team at all. I could run Snow White. Like I could run a Snow White team. I could run like either Miranda and Helm, although I don't think Helm is really going to do anything here because it's not an Iron Weak boss, so her debuff isn't going to be amazing, so maybe we just take Dala.
Should be crystal clear who gets what.
Although Dala's wind code, she'll take more damage, we might as well just take Helm. Because I don't think Dala really has anything else, right? You get a little bit of attack, but nothing long enough for Snow White. Not that Helm provides anything at all either. Yeah, no. But we could run this team and then run Snow White and Amelia, and then run like Helm.
It's time we can show everyone what we're capable
Either
of.
Helm or try and tank through everything with Yulha's damage share.
go?
The problem is, once again, we have like no way to deal with any of the projectiles. I could run a 2B team, but 2B teams are kind of scuffed. Like we could run Dorothy because she's our last CDR unit, and then run
Are we finally
Mast
taking to the high
with,
seas?
I guess, like
We don't get
2B
to
and
choose.
Scarlet, and then run Noise
Alright,
as flex slot.
Let's go.
That might end up being better than what we currently have. I don't think 2B is a screen wipe. It does say all enemies. Maybe it is a screen wipe. It just, this team kind of sucks. And Mast's crit rate thing is kind of garbage. It's just 17 crit rate for 30 seconds and then it never happens ever again. We can try this though. This is mock, so we might as well try to see what we can get. But bunny team, shotgun team could be good. It certainly has the sustain, it's just the damage isn't there. I can't destroy the parts fast enough. I think that's going to be the problem with this team. I don't think 2B and Scarlet have the damage to... I'm going to wait until it shoots off the third wave. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, yeah, so it's not a screen wipe. Unfortunately. But luckily all of the missiles are going towards Noise, which is good. Noise and 2B. But Scarlet is a screen wipe, so that gets rid of some of them. The problem is I don't think we have enough damage to break these parts. Yeah, no, the shield has come up. We've got about, what, 40 seconds? It's a 40-second DPS check to break all the parts. Burst on Noise. Just to like get her healed back up. I assume 2B and Noise will be taking most of the aggro here, so that's good in the sense that like we don't have to worry about our characters dying. But yeah, no, the damage isn't here. I think I still will use this team over using the electric team because it actually like has survivability. We just have to time our burst. I'll probably time the first burst after it shoots 4 to see if it can clear everything with Scarlet. Although we probably should do it with 2B because we're gonna lose... Actually, does this share? 2 allies with the highest attack. That's got to be ending up... Actually, I don't think... Depends on when your thing... Activates when enters battle. Okay. 2B should have the highest attack. She only has 66k here, but her HP to attack conversion should be enough. I think we will use this team in the actual thing. And then I'll just do one run. I have 2 tries, but it's going to take at least 15 minutes, and I'm not going to... I don't want to do 2 runs. Let's get them actually have cubes. I'll give burst to volume. Rem should get... where is it? Bastion? Yeah, Rem should get Bastion, I believe. I think Bastion will... Oh, is it going to be better than Wingman? Wingman is 22. Do you have max ammo rolls? No. Can I upgrade these? Actually, let's upgrade... What does she scale on? Is it all of her attack? Okay, let's upgrade her gloves instead. I'm gonna see if I can get a max ammo roll on her. Nice, max ammo. Okay, is this gonna take up all of my... Is this gonna start digging into manufacture gear? No, cool. As long as we can keep it out of manufacture gear, I'll level this up too. We might get another... We might get lucky with another roll. Okay, that kind of sucks. I'm gonna reroll that. Okay, that also kind of sucks. Of course she gets a max hit rate thing. Of course. I'm gonna take it, just because having a max value thing is funny. It's completely worthless for her. Like, it's probably the least... Well, that's not true. Charge damage is the least. This is not useful. It doesn't affect anything. Hit rate's worthless on machine guns, though, because they already have pretty much 100% hit rate. Anyway, with a max ammo thing, I think it'll make more sense. And she has like a 400 capacity mag, so I think it makes more sense to give her Bastion, and we'll take away Guillotines if we're not using her. You've got reload speed? Yeah. I think that works in Asuka. She's got better stuff. She did well yesterday. You have Bastion as well? Yes. Makes sense. And Maud has all the mod things that she needs. She also has Bastion. I think they're all set. I'm gonna double check Asuka's skill stuff. And I guess I like how it mutes the game whenever I tab out. So whenever I'm doing something else, what ends up happening is you get just silence while I'm looking at something. It's not even like the game music. You can't even get that. Just nothing but silence. Okay, let me check the Asuka thing. Asuka. Asuka! That's what she'd be in Genshin. She'd be Asuka. 777. Okay. So burst, skill 2. Okay. She's a 10, I mean, as most of the new characters are, she's 10 10 10. But I think we're good. I'm gonna check if... Yeah, we don't have enough to get her burst up to 10. I'm gonna see if there's anybody else that we maybe would want to get higher. She has a breakpoint at 7, which is why I left her burst at 7. She has a breakpoint at 1, which it starts on. Then she has one at 4 and one at 7. So I'm gonna leave it at 7 for now. 447. Mod's fine. Volumes, skill levels, honestly, who cares? Who cares? Actually, these should probably be swapped. But then we don't have a water unit. Theoretically, volume should probably be in the 2B team for the crit boosts, but then we lose out on our water unit, and we need a water unit. That's unfortunate. Excuse me. Yeah, they're usually played together. Rem 744, and then 1077. I don't think we need to upgrade her stuff right now. If anything, it would be this. I don't think the HP recovery is going to be super important. I haven't needed it so far, so I'm going to leave her as well. I think we'll leave all of them the way they are right now, as opposed to trying to level anything up. We just don't need it. Anyway, my strategy here, if it would register my clicks. Oh no, actually, you know what? We are going to retry for that. I missed 1 second of DPS. We're going to restart. My strategy here is probably just to use Raise Burst first. And just like delay it a little bit until this next part comes out. Just to get rid of all of them at once. And then the missiles come out. They're probably all going to go for mod. But hopefully it'll be okay. And then
Get ready. Let's turn it up.
just focusing on getting rid of them. Yeah, health seems fine. Oh, the shield. Okay, well, let's see if we can get through. I might be able to get through if I just immediately, if we start off with Asuka's and then use Ray's in the second half. I thought it was funny during the collab they had to specify which Ray was which, so one of them was like Ray and the other one was like Ray A. They're like, we need to know which Ray we're talking about. And then I believe on manual they automatically target projectiles. We don't have a lot of time left.
Get ready.
Nope, missed it. Okay. Oh, she's died. Rip. Okay, so she took both of those. I should probably just have auto aim off and then just hold whoever is trying to, or whoever's being targeted. It's probably gonna end up being, I guess she stacked Demon Breath. I was gonna say it's kind of weird that Rem got targeted.
Get ready.
Okay, that's on Rem. Should be good.
Get ready.
Just too short. It's hard to see. Oh, yeah. It's really hard to see who is being targeted by the lasers. I think it's coming from the mouth, but you can't see the mouth when you're attacking.
Get ready.
Yeah, that was decidedly less useful, I think. I think we should use it second, yeah, for this part. Yeah, that second wipeout I think is going to be way more useful than the one at the start. We have a bunch of low burst gen though, which is unfortunate. 3 machine guns, an SMG, and AR.
Get ready.
So.
Everyone, give us everything you've got. Get ready.
Ooh, that's Asuka. Okay. Oh, we might be able to make it here. No, it's gonna be just too soon.
Get ready.
Right, just before it. I want to see. Oh, it comes from the cores. I see.
Get ready.
Okay. Well, that's not very helpful when I'm shooting the cores. But at least I know where it comes from. But we should be good from here on out. Next burst phase, her health is gonna come back up and we'll be doing normal damage.
Get ready. Time to go all out.
I don't think there's really a point to saving when we use burst. Unless I just don't want to pilot Rem.
Get ready.
I'm gonna try and get to the next QTE as fast as possible.
Get ready.
Next shield QTE. I also noticed recently Asuka has like a custom projectile when she's in her burst mode. She actually has like a... I don't think she has a weapon change, but it actually is like a different projectile. I love how easy to clear these QTE, like the element QTEs are though, for this boss. It's really nice how simple they are. Unless you're caught with like wind-up time on
Get ready.
like a machine gun, they come down really easily. And these aren't that bad either. Very low chance of hitting anything else. I was even using shotgun or even using Red Hood, they're spaced out far enough that you don't really have to worry about accidentally hitting something else. I found very nice.
Get ready.
Cutting those ones kind of close though. Getting good damage. I think this is less damage than I had. We're not gonna clear this QT, there's no point.
Get ready.
Yeah, there's no point to clearing that last QT. Because by the time that it fails, the timer will have run out. Well, let's try the 2B team. Following the same idea of 2 screen wipes, I think it makes sense to try and... Oh, I should have changed their cubes. Oh well, too late now. We should go by just doing this as fast as possible. And then... just doing this and taking them out. These should all go to Noise, who's currently getting buffed by her burst. Perfect. Oh nice, that was a 2B skill. Hopefully that was... I don't know if that was a crit or not. Taunt should still be on Noise, hopefully. Oh, it's on 2B. That works as well. She has enough health. Oh, I can't select it. Rip. Probably should have just used Noise Burst then. Who's being targeted? Doesn't tell me. Okay. Is it gonna attack? I guess not. Oh, it's Noise. I maybe should have let her tank that, but whatever.
I'll be back soon.
Yeah, we're already getting more damage than we got with the electric team I ran yesterday. I think we got through the first phase and then everybody wiped. So we're already doing better than we were before. Oh no, auto lock, no! Auto lock, it locked onto the projectile, no. So even if we get wiped before this, even if we don't make it to the third phase, it's still going to be more damage than originally. So assuming all things else are equal, we should end up with probably about 100,000 more damage than yesterday, which isn't a lot, but hopefully it's enough. We failed this. I think that's gonna be a wipe. Oh, I guess not. Because it was just the thing that finally killed
I'll be
Noise.
back soon.
Please cover me. Light. I'll send you down to Baby Joe Fletcher.
Okay.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah, I already think that's better than yesterday. So now let's do the next worst team, which is Toad. And I think they all have everything they want except for Noir. Should I give her Assault as well? Probably should, right? It's not gonna... I mean, theoretically I should be using the highest levels, but I think Assault will be fine. Helps with the hit rate. And then I think we're good on just spamming. There's no CDR, but I think we're good on just spamming Burst on this one. I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, all three of these attackers have
Lady Luck always on our side. I got too excited.
Screen Wipe Burst, which will work out just fine. Oh, we're actually melting through these pretty well. These actually don't do that much damage. It's really just the lasers, and they're all gone now. Lasers are what really do the damage. We were able to iframe some. I think we broke it. I think we beat the DPS check. Nice. I'm confident in Blanc's ability to keep everybody healed and just being able to tank through this.
Lady Luck is always on our side.
Okay, it's just a delayed screen wipe, like Scarlet's. It's not as immediate. It's like the second half of it or something. Okay, this team's actually going a lot better than I thought it was. Also, I hate low-key. I hate that she's not like full reload like some of the other shotgun characters, because I find it really annoying when they have like 3-part reloads, especially characters like Sugar, who have a burst that I find really annoying, because I'm like, do I do the full reload and waste time, or do I do a bunch of partial reloads? Like, do I let her reload a little bit and then
So cumbersome.
have to keep reloading during her burst, or do I let her, like, do I waste time reloading fully now, or do I waste time partially reloading?
Lady Luck is always on our
I usually don't have that problem, because most of the time I don't manual on Soda. Most of the time I'm either not using her at all, or I'm manualing somebody else and I just let the computer decide. Because I believe Curvity's a full reload. So most of the time, like, look, I love how nice it is. These QTEs, they're so nice. It's not like damage based. Tove's got awful damage, it's not her job. We're maintaining pretty good uptime on stacks as well, considering that we have no Leona and we have no Alice.
Lady Luck is
So we're actually doing pretty well in that regard. Tove's keeping up her stacks pretty well, and her buff is going pretty well.
Lady Luck is always on our side.
Barely caught that one. I think this is... Well, I don't know. I don't remember... I don't think we really had a good shotgun team the last time they ran Gravedigger solo. But I think that is probably one of the best performances I've ever had out of a Gravedigger or a shotgun comp. I think this is fully all good. Strategy here is boring, because this is the generic Sniper Pierce team, I guess, but with the Ludmilla, so...
Let's focus. Hold up. We want to preserve
Let's
beautiful
wrap
memories.
this
Had a little bit of lag there. It's like, oh what? DPS check? What's that? DPS check? Part check? I'm sorry, I'm using Red Hood. Doesn't exist. Also, I'm using the... If she was in a different team or if I had better rolls on her gear, I'm using the never have to reload lady. Because of her burst combined with Bastion, combined with enough ammo up, means that she never has to reload. She will here, unfortunately, because I'm not using her with Noir, but it's a very funny team. What's that? You had cores? Too bad. Compared to the last 3 teams, we're coasting on this one. Actually, we were kind of coasting on the bunny team as well, but that's just because Blanc and Noir is such a good combo. Oh, what's that? You had parts? Haha, core hit, go burr. We can just let Tia tank everything. Where am I getting bonus damage? Where's my bonus damage? Oh right, machine gun don't have bonus damage, do they? I'll aim back here, because I think Red Hood might get bonus damage here. Actually, when I'm not, I should probably be manualing on Red Hood when she's not in burst. Or when I'm not doing QTs. I should probably be manualing on her since this is like objectively the better.
Let's finish this quickly. This outfit is a real drag. Hold on a moment. Target. I want to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life.
Nice. Core hit. I want core hit. Give me core hit. Nice.
Let's finish. I want to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life.
Ooh, that was close. It was bad timing for everybody. No burst, and Lud was reloading. Also, this is a big enough target that I feel like I can manual here and not feel bad. Normally I don't like manualing on snipers when I have a machine gun because I want to keep them trained on the core for the bonus damage. But
The party isn't over yet, is it? Let's go back and enjoy.
it was actually less damage than I thought. But with the core being so big, it's not really a problem. You have what I want. You need to take this back from volume. And you, what could you use, Privity? Oh, we definitely, we'll give her this. It's the highest level one, and Scout doesn't need that. It's just because of the bonus stuff. The reload speed's kind of pointless, although, let's see. Let's say reload 44. How much is yours? Reload 44. Okay, yeah. So, I think it's already at 100% reload. But, actually no, I think Alice has it with the cube. So I think with the cube, Privity now has 100 reload, which means she doesn't reload when we're bursting. She just instantly gets max ammo. You can see with Alice, her ammo's not going down. It's because it was high enough. Once again, I'm not that worried about people surviving. With like these at least. I'm fairly confident in like our ability to just take damage. So it's not something that I'm like super pressed about, especially considering Scarlet has no HP thresholds and Alice has lifesteal when she goes below 70, so really the only problem is if Crown dies somehow.
Under the light of the kingdom.
But,
Everyone follow me?
She has a tiny bit of self-healing built in along with her defensive sustain. So I'm not super worried.
Under the light of the kingdom. Everyone follow me?
It's really just my mouse. Can I press fast enough but not too fast? It's the real question.
Under the light of the kingdom.
And I don't think I have to worry about where I aim with Scarlet either, because she has no bonus damage as a rocket launcher.
Under the light of the kingdom.
Render all asunder.
Under the light of the kingdom.
Ah. Am I clicking? I feel like Alice is easier to play on mobile. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot easier to consistently tap, versus here you can see there a couple times where I'm missing because I'm clicking too fast, and so the game like doesn't register that I've clicked.
Under the light of the kingdom.
It thinks I've just like, or it's registered that I've clicked, but I've clicked too fast, so it's just pulling me out of the fire animation. You're like, oh, it's like let me cancel, but little does it know I don't actually want to cancel. I want to be clicking this fast.
Under the light of the kingdom.
Render all asunder.
Okay, this is way more damage than I had yesterday in this team. I don't know what it is. We might have been getting lucky with
Under the light of the kingdom. Everyone follow me?
Scarlet crits, because I think her
A commendable battle.
yeah, that's way more damage than yesterday. It's 500,000, and we did not get 500,000 more damage with the Scarlet team, or with the 2B team. So I don't know what's up with that, but now we're back to 1.87%, 4.2 bill, or no, 500 million. I'm sorry, I said 500,000. I'm sorry, but I think I got 300. I got 300 million more damage on that last team. I don't know how that's possible. The only thing I can assume is it's got to be a combination of. Well, that was really laggy. It's got to be a combination of this critting, because I'm pretty sure this can crit. I'm pretty sure her skill 1 can crit. So it's got to be a combination of that, combined with the fact that we put the resilience cube on... the resilience cube on Privity. So she never had to reload when we were bursting, and she also had 10% bonus like elemental damage, which must have done something, because she has no overload gear. Because why? Privity exists to provide a reload buff and to be a water unit. That's the only thing she does. She provides reload speed, and that's it. She doesn't do anything else. But nothing else changed. Alice has not been touched in months. Excuse me. Her doll is maxed. I've not changed any of her gear since yesterday. Scarlet's doll has not leveled up at all, I don't think. I think it's still 15, yeah. And she doesn't have a favorite item, so nothing has happened there. I've done nothing to Crown, and Leader's damage is practically non-existent, so Scarlet must have just crit more. Either that, or I got lucky with Alice crits. I might have crit more, like off burst or something like that. Because during her burst, all the damage should be consistent. That must be what it is. I can't think of any other possible explanation. Because I didn't level up anybody else, I don't think either. So, also, one level up I don't think would provide enough stats to account for a 300 million damage discrepancy. I don't think that's how that works. I'm no like theory crafter, like spreadsheet guy, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. I'm pretty sure that gaining like 200 attack is not going to result in 300 million more damage. It's not how this game works. Anyway, it's Federico time. Federico Carbonati. Yeah. See? Delete Nikke out of the title. I'm excited. I'm excited that this is going to be the part of the stream where everybody leaves. I can feel the people leaving the stream. I can feel it happening. Oh, I've opened up Fatal 12 like 27 times. I got impatient, so I kept clicking on it. Did you know there's actually, totally unrelated, well, sort of related. You know that Sekai Project also was, like, they released, or they're the ones, like, releasing, Usanatsu? There's actually a Kickstarter for a voice drama that is still ongoing. They actually met the target. Apparently they met the target in 5 days. But you can still donate if you want to get like merch and stuff like that. So when last we left off, we were learning about the doomed Yuri between Miharu and Rinka, and how they were both trapped in an anime among us, and only one of them could survive, like the Hunger Games. Although if you've ever read or watched the first Hunger Games, you'll know that there was a way for two of them to survive, so we'll see if that happens. But that means nothing, because right now we are following oh, that's no, we don't have him yet. We are following Federico Carbonati, and I've decided that since he said he was a mafioso, he's gonna talk like this. Yeah, see? So he's gonna sound like this, and this is how I'm gonna talk every time he says a word. So I'm expecting that a lot of people will be like, nah, I ain't about this, and leave. Anyway, this is not Federico Carbonati. This is Odette. So I don't know what voice we'll give her. I didn't really hear what she said. Hey, Space Cadet, you copy? This charming individual is Odette Melancone. Much like me, she's a participant in divine selection, you see? Under normal circumstances, we'd be aiming to eliminate each other, but we've agreed to help one another out for the time being. Well, I guess it'd be more accurate to say that she's forced me into a truce, you see? Nothing much, just thinking about something. I know we already gave the voice to the other guy. Should I give her the voice as well? I know the reason why, if you're wondering why I don't give him the... No, that's not the voice. If you're asking, Neon, why didn't you make him sound like this? You know, you could have just made him sound like this, and then we wouldn't have to listen to that annoying voice that you're doing. It's because we already gave that voice to who I can only presume to be God? I don't know, it was the mysterious man in the robe. So he already got that voice because I thought it'd be funny. So, Federico had to get a new voice. I ain't about... Should we make her a country? We're gonna very quickly run out of voices. How about you focus on the grub instead? I ain't about to let good Chinese cooking go to waste, Capricorno. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is gonna be so funny. The two voices, oh, this is gonna be great. We use Capricorno as my code name, you see, when you're speaking. It's based on my zodiac sign, yeah, see? In turn, Vierge, how I refer to her. The only issue is that pronouncing French words is kind of tricky for an Italian like myself, you see? Anyway, I'm the one that suggested using code names. I did that mainly because our names are valuable info when it comes to eliminating others in divine selection, see? Neither of us are supposed to know each other's real name. Knowing her, she's probably used some connections to pull my name out of the lake. She won't tell me that straight up. Obviously, I know her real name as well, but I haven't told her. Keeping that stuff to ourselves is the reason our current relationship works in the first place. Gotta admit, can't be any happier that we're here in Beijing. Ain't gonna find better Chinese grub anywhere. The nightmare voice stream from hell.
私みたいな海の女にはカロリーが必要だ。
This stuff served. They served this stuff to the old emperors of the Qing dynasty, so even the sauces are perfect. What's more, it's loaded with calories to combat the cold climate here. For a gal who lives on the sea, the perfect blend of taste and calories is just what I need.
特にこの北京ダックっていうのは中国の最大の発明じゃないかと思ってる。油がうまいんだ。
In fact, I'd argue that this Peking duck right here is the greatest thing to ever come out of China. Fat's never tasted this good.
フォアグラ用のガチョウといい勝負なくらいの残酷な飼育法だが、こううまいんじゃ仕方ない。まずく生まれ変わるしか道はねえからな。
The way it's made is just as horrible as what they do to geese while making foie gras, but it don't change the fact that it's delicious. At least the ducks can hope to do is hope they ain't as tasty in their next life. Yeah, see, she shovels more and more food into her mouth the second she quits yapping. This is her third plate of Peking duck, by the way. She has plenty of gyoza and steamed buns in between, too. Hard to believe someone from France would ever food like this, considering how particular they are about their full-course meals. Just watching her pig out makes my stomach ache.
ま、つまりだ。世界で一番の料理がフランス料理なのは動かないが、中華料理には2番を与えてやってもいい。
This is gonna be really hard. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is that while French food's still the best, I ain't got no issue letting Chinese food play second fiddle.
待てビエルジュ、お前の言葉には苦言を呈したい。2番以下はどこに譲ってもいいが。
Oh no, and thus it
1番は
begins.
イタリアンだ。
Now, wait just a sec. I don't mind what's second and beyond, but I'm not gonna let you imply that Italian food's anything but the best, you see?
よし、いいだろう。じゃあ今から腕っぷしのいい中国人を呼んできて、フランス人、イタリア人、中国人の中で勝った国の料理が世界一だ。
Fine. Fine. Yeah. Let's go find us a well-built Chinese person. Whoever wins in a fight between us three can say their country has the best food.
待て待て、わかった。いや、わかってはいないが、この話題はやめてくれ。
I like how, like, not like him the voice sounds like. Like, he doesn't sound anything like the voice I'm doing. Okay, fine, you win. Well, you don't. But let's change topics before things escalate. She really would hunt for someone too. The only problem is that it doesn't matter what kind of tank she recruits. She'd still beat both of us senseless. Ain't many people who can take her in a fistfight, men included. She's the head of a group teeming with tough seamen for a reason.
さて、フェデリコ、酒はいるか？この紹興酒ってのは溶かした飴みたいでなかなかうまいぞ。
How about it, Federico? Time for booze? This Shaoxing Jew's pretty great. Tastes like dissolved candy.
オーデット、あんた。
Give me a break, oh. Just like that, she's baited me into saying her real name.
さっきお前が何を考えてたのか知らないが、無意味な牽制はもうやめねえか。
I don't know what you were thinking about earlier, but how's about we quit wasting each other's time with this whole charade?
どういう意味だ？
What's that supposed to mean, eh? I already know the answer, but I ask anyway, you see? She chucks more Shaoxing Ju before showing me a big toothy smile.
さあな。だがこの女神の選定とやらでよ。使命って情報は一番すぐにわかる情報じゃねえか。
I wonder. It's pretty obvious that everyone's first move in this divine selection game or whatever is gonna be get a death grip on the other participant's name.
お前はコードネームで呼び合うことを提案したが、意味ねえんだ。調べればわかることだからな。
You wanted code names, but hey, it ain't gonna stop anyone from finding out our real names.
死因もそうだ。自分の死んだ時間におおよその見当がついているから、時間をかけて調べればおのずと知ることができる。特に私とお前なんかな。
Cause of death, too. We all died at the same time. So all it'll take is a bit of digging to find out how everyone kicked the bucket, especially when it involves people like us.
言いたいことはわかるな。
You catch my drift, right?
バカにするな。この戦艇は未練を探り合う情報戦ってことが言いたいんだろ。それくらいは分かってる。
Yeah. No need to treat me like an idiot, you see? I'm aware the information warfare is the name of the game here. Gotta find out one of those regrets, too.
分かった上でコードネームを使うってんだから、お前は小物なんだよ。使命なんて捨てろ捨てろ。
The fact that you wanted to use code names in spite of that proves you're just a small fry. You should forget all about your real name.
だが全員分の未練はカードでランダムに配布されてるじゃねえか。誰かが俺たちの未練のカードを持っているはずだぜ。
Everyone's regret card was handed out to other participants at random, right? That means one of them knows yours and one knows mine.
初期カードはランダムなんだから、都合よく私らの情報を3枚揃えられるわけじゃない。
Well, yeah, but there ain't no way someone's gonna luck out and get all 3 pieces of info on either of us when they're handed out at random.
1回目の選定で誰も私らを指名しなかったんだから、運よく揃ったやつはいないってことが明らかになってる。
No one elected either of us during the first round, which serves as proof.
あのインド人も私らのカードを入手したわけじゃなさそうだしな。もしそうなら、やれるやつからやってった方が得だ。
Doesn't seem like that Indian guy has our cards either. If he did, then he would have gone straight for us, since he knows it's best to take out the toughest competition first.
もし最初に配られた3枚で誰かの手元にあんたのカードが揃ってたらどうするつもりだったんだ。
What would you have done if someone had just so happened to get all your cards when they were first distributed?
運命を呪うだけだよ。賭けに負けたって死ぬだけだ。
Nothing much. I just died knowing I lost my bet and cursed my fate. About it. I really can't stand this woman sometimes. She makes you think she's got it all planned out, but she leaves the most crucial bits up to luck. Her cautious and rational actions end up getting thrown out the window when she goes wild for no discernible reason. I honestly don't know what goes on in her head. It's the first time I've come across a woman who doesn't just do whatever a man tells them to. The worst part of it all, though.
まあ、最後の2人になるまでは協力関係だ。従わないってんなら、また殴ってやるからかかってきな。
Well, either way, we're working together till it's just us two. If you ain't up for it, then let me smack you around some more. That's what she does to resolve everything. She resorts to violence. I can't call her a nasty name out loud, so I just keep the insults to myself.
でだ。選定の最後の日には日本にいなくちゃいけないんだろ。なのにどうして俺たちは中国にいるんだ。
Moving on. Is there a reason we're in China when we need to be in Japan for the final day of divine selection?
決まってるだろ。私は北京ダックが好きだが、本場では食ったことがなかったんだ。
Ain't it obvious? Much as I love Peking duck, I've never been able to eat it right here in Beijing before.
おいおい、マジかよ。
You serious?
ついでに、宿題の答え合わせをしに来たんだ。
We got some homework to do out here as well.
は？
私たちの船が襲われる直前、中国食品企業の重役さんが会議中に倒れたってニュースが入ってたんだ。
Right before our ship got attacked, I caught wind of a top brass executive for a Chinese food company collapsing during a meeting. As you might have guessed, that's the representative for a certain shipping company. Oh, of course we're talking about this woman, so ain't no way it's a plain old shipping company. Doesn't matter if it involves drugs or even dead bodies, they'll take on any job they're paid to. In that regard, you could call them smugglers. Their existence is kept in the dark, though, likely because certain governments aren't shy about making use of them. Well, it's not quite accurate to say they take up any job, considering Odette makes it a point to turn down anything she considers boring. Certain circumstances led to my hitching a ride in their boat, which is how we ended up cooperating in the first place.
選定で生還した後、気になったんで詳細を調べたんだ。だが、 そんな事件の情報はなかった。
I went up to look up more info on it after we'd been brought back, but turns out there wasn't any record of the incident at all.
おい、それって。
Hold on. Doesn't that mean... I can't even take a bite of the food in front of my mouth when she says that. She, on the other hand, grabs the bottle of Shaoxing and downs what's left of it.
仕事柄、こういう世界の情勢ってのを気にしてないといけないから、私は一度聞いたら忘れねえ。
I gotta keep tabs on this sort of info thanks to my line of work, so I ain't gonna forget about something like that easily.
ローチャンホ、そいつの名前だ。調べ直してみたらまあピンピンしてるみたいだぜ。
His name's Ro Chan Ho. I dug deeper after that, and here's the kicker. He seems to be alive and well. What? The moment she mentions his name, the book beside her emits a strange light. It's big, thick, auburn-colored book with some gold leaf decorations on it. There ain't no pages in it, you see? Just a big old hole in the middle where you open it. Got the exact same book, see? It's some kind of card storing book used for divine selection.
こいつはいい。
Now we're talking. The dull light focuses into a single point when she opens her book. It gradually fades, and in its place, a rectangular piece of paper. Odette catches it while it's hovering in midair.
ローチャンホのカード。つまり、7番の使命のカードで、ビンゴだ。
Bingo. Looks like our friend Rochan Ho's numeral 7.
マジかよ、こんな簡単に。
Damn, that was easy. That girl who was going on about being a goddess mentioned that the cause of all our deaths had been undone. The fact that Odette was able to notice such a paradox proves that the girl wasn't lying.
こうなりゃ当てずっぽうだ。ローは太っていたな。ってことは、糖尿病を患ってたかもしれない。
Now we gotta play the guessing game. He was a fatso, so he might have had diabetes.
そうなると、低血糖。いや、企業の重役に上り詰めたやつが命に関わるミスを犯すとは思えない。会議中に突然死。脳梗塞か心筋梗塞だな。
Which means he could have died from low blood sugar. Then again, I can't see a bigwig like him not taking the proper precautions. So, if something killed him unexpectedly, it'd more likely have to be a stroke or heart attack.
カードは出ない。
No love from the cards, huh? She calls it a guessing game, but she clearly isn't taking stabs in the dark. So the fact that a card didn't appear means she's not on the right track?
いや、カードが生成されるには条件があんのかもしれねえな。ローの名前に気づいていたのに、今までカードが出なかったのはなぜだ?
Maybe there's some kind of condition that causes the card to appear. How come Ro's name never appeared before now, even though I learned about him earlier? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they probably have to say the information out loud, and they probably have to either say the information out loud and or they have to know. I think they have to somehow consciously voice the fact that they know the information. So the reason why, like, if we go and like here, oops, that's not the right one. If we go here, and the reason why, like, how we have these in our own name, our name, Carminati's, death, and a gold medal, but the reason that for example, we don't have Mihadu's name, but Mihadu has our name. I think we have to specifically make a conscious decision to be like, this is a person in the game. Like, one of the 12 people is this person. Because she specifically, like, mentioned Rochan Ho. So I think we have to, like, specifically say it, and we have to know for a fact. Maybe not know for a fact, but we have to, like, be like, this is what caused the death. It can't just be, we can't just like randomly list things. I think even if he had died from a stroke or a heart attack, I don't think it would have given either one of them a card unless they were like, he died this way with some degree of certainty.
わかるかよそんなもん。他にいないか迷ってみたらどうだ。
Ella, if I know. Guess you gotta think a little harder if you're that unsure.
お前も考えろってんだ。いや待てよ。迷う。さっきの私は迷っていた。私の確信がなかった。
How about you help me out here? Wait a minute. I thought up a few other possibilities just now, but I wasn't sure whether they were right or not.
でかい独り言だな。
You sure love talking to yourself. My attempt to tease her falls on deaf ears. The grin that spreads across her face soon after bursts with confidence.
どちらかといえば、確率が高いのは脳梗塞。糖尿病の合併症で、会議中突発的に起きてもおかしくはない。これでどうだ？
Between a stroke and a heart attack, I'd bet he suffered the former. Wouldn't be surprising if his diabetes caused him to have one out of the blue during this meeting. How's that sound? She directs her question toward the book, as if it nodded back. Amazingly enough, it does respond. Reacts the same way as when she obtained Rose's name card.
7番の死因、脳梗塞。今回はどうにかなったが、単純な当てずっぽうじゃダメみたいだ。一個分かったルールは、確信を持たないとカード化されないってとこだが、かなり曖昧だな。
Numeral 7's cause of death was a stroke. Things went well this time, but it seems one of the rules is that you gotta believe in your answer to make a card appear. Can't expect results from blind guessing, even though it all seems kinda ambiguous. And the ads are coming up, so I think that now is a perfect time to go take a water break. We'll be right back with this country accent and this voice, you see?
Nice to meet you. M. Sophistopheles.
I've been listening to this very dramatic music that they're playing right now in the game. Gotta believe it, huh? I should mention that. Oh. I should mention that Odette went through that entire process while she continued to chow down on her food, see? I'd planned on going easy on the booze so I could stay rational, but I ended up downing my drink as well. I figured that being stuck with her is a bad thing, but on the other hand, it might be perfect for me. This woman's gonna be useful. It's not often you find someone who's got the brains to match the brawn, so I should be able to get rid of anyone in my way with her around. Why would she cooperate with me, though? Maybe she figures I have all the info I need on her, so she's doing this to make sure I don't hand off anything to the other participants. We were on the same boat when it sank, so naturally you'd think we'd both died the same way. Since I've got her name and cause of death, she wants to keep me in check. What she doesn't know is I didn't actually know her cause of death. She shouldn't know mine, either. We might have died when the ship was attacked, but the actual causes weren't by drowning her from fire. In reality, the only info we have on each other is our names. Odette's just making it seem like she knows more so she can have leverage over me. Basically, this whole cooperation thing is a front so she can get her hands on my info for when we're the last two remaining.
いい食いっぷりになったじゃねえか。
Now that's the kind of chowing down I like to see.
この店にある一番いいワインを持ってきてくれ。
Bring us the best wine you got.
いいぜ。付き合ってやる。
Yeah, count me in. Oops. Oh, actually, isn't it?
いいぜ。付き合ってやる。
The most important challenge of my life's about to begin, see? I ain't about to fail, and I certainly ain't gonna let her drink me under the table. We end up drinking until all the wine in the restaurant's gone. Amazingly enough, she pops open another bottle back at the hotel as a substitute for water. I'm not about to join her, so I go back to my room and sleep. The next morning, I notice that I have Grove's card in my own book, too. Later that day, Odette gets me to start tailing him. Needless to say, this is for the sake of getting information regarding his regret. Divine Selection takes place at 12 PM on Sunday, JST, so we'll be in a good spot if we manage to get all 3 pieces of info on him before then. As for why I'm tailing him on my own, well, Odette's down with a hangover, you see? Not in the way you'd imagine, though. She ain't suffering in bed. She's pissed off and screaming at everyone and everything, see? Can't believe she's making me second guess her usefulness just one day later.
やべえぞ、オデット。
Odette, this ain't good. Not long after I start tailing him, I have to rush back to the hotel to get Odette. Robe's company was located in one of those fancy high-class buildings in the middle of Beijing City. I lost sight of him thanks to it being so crowded, but I managed to learn his plans. A few minutes after entering the building, he's made his way back out. Acting as someone there an official in a business, I asked the front desk about his schedule, to which they replied he was leaving on a business trip. They were hesitant about revealing the destination at first, but I managed to get them to reveal that he'd be staying in Taiwan for 3 days while visiting their local branch. Turns out we can hop on the same flight as him if we haul ass over to the airport.
やつは今日から台湾へ出張だ。追うぞ。とっとと準備をしろ。
He's on his way to Taiwan, so get moving. We're going after him, you see? I knock on her door, fully expecting her to flip out at me. Imagine my surprise when she struts out of the room all ready to go, luggage and all. As an aside, our phone and credit cards were perfectly intact, despite our washing up shore, so we didn't have any issue buying whatever gear we needed.
ちょうどチェックアウトの連絡をしたところだ。
I just told the front desk that we'd be checking out.
は？
You what?
私がその情報を掴んでないと思ったか？昨日の時点ですでに分かってたんだよ。
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I was fully aware of his plans when we hashed things out last night.
じゃあどうして俺に尾行させたんだよ。
Why'd you get me to tell him then?
協力関係だ。頼られてばっかりじゃ私の損だろ。 この程度の情報もつかめないんだったら協力関係を破棄してやろうと試してたのさ。
She got thighs. I bet she got calves too. We can't see them, but I bet she got calves. If she got thighs like this, I bet she got calves too. Also, I like how much she like tapers down like at her waist. It's a really funny visual. It's just really funny. Like her thighs are the size of her waist. Ain't much of a co-op if I'm doing all the ops, know what I mean? I planned on calling the whole thing off if you couldn't get your hands on such basic info. She drops that bombshell on me like it's a casual greeting, see? The fact that she doesn't mention what she'd do with me if I failed her little test proves how twisted she is. Why do I gotta be tested in the first place, huh?
食えない女だ。
You're a bit too sly for your own good.
何か言ったか？
What was that?
でもねえよ。
Nothing. We leave the hotel after I rush to get my stuff together. Haven't made it on time to catch the same flight as Ro. We make our way to our hotel in Taiwan after landing. It's the same hotel he's staying in, so we chose a room far enough away from his, and then discuss our next move over some wine and cheese. I like how they just reversed the image. It's like this is the same picture of the last hotel, they just flipped it.
しかしビビったぜ。あんた飛行機の中でローを探すんだから。
Gotta hand it to you. I didn't think you'd try to find him on the flight itself.
生意気にビジネスクラスに乗ってやがったからロビーで見つからなかったんだ。まあエコノミーじゃ出っ張った腹が邪魔だろうがな。
Well, I couldn't find him in the flat's lobby since he had the nerve to fly business class. Then again, it's probably best he did since that stomach of his would just piss off everyone in economy.
偶然座席が余っててアップグレードできたんで到着ロビーから尾行してホテルを突き止められた。結果オーライだな。
Glad I was able to upgrade to business class myself, though. Managed to tail him from the arrival lounge to his hotel because of that.
ビジネスクラスでいい思いをしたのはあんただけな。あんたは選定の場所で顔が割れてるんだぜ。ローが騒いだりしたらどうするつもりだったんだ。
Meanwhile, I was stranded in economy. You do realize the other participants know your face, right? What would you have done if you'd noticed and started to panic?
そんなこと警戒すらしてなかったみたいだ。まさか私ら選定の参加者が中国まで追ってきてるとは思ってないみたいだ。
He didn't seem bothered. Probably doesn't expect other participants to make their way out to China to find him.
いや、それ以前に平然と仕事をして暮らしているあたり、ありゃもしかしたら選定そのものを信じていない可能性もあるな。
Fact, the way he's working and going about his daily life may mean that he doesn't actually believe that divine selection's happening.
まともな大人なら信じないだろあんなもん。俺もあんたと一緒に漂着したから信じたってもんだ。
True, most adults wouldn't believe that crap. Only reason I did is because we both washed ashore together, you see. She grins nihilistically before continuing.
自分の死を冷静に認識できてればどうして生きているって疑問が浮かぶんだけどな。そうなりゃ選定とやらの存在を信じざるを得ない。
Surely you'd have some questions about how you're still alive if you're aware that you died, though. Seems like enough to believe that this whole situation's for real.
そんな風にぶっ飛んでんのはあんただけだ。
Pretty sure you're the only one with enough screws loose to reach that conclusion.
んなことより滞在期間気にならないか。
More importantly, something's fishy about how long he's staying here, wouldn't you say? I grabbed some squares of cheese as I posed that question to her. I love cheese. Once I confirmed that she's reacted to it, I continue.
会社で聞いた時のあいつの出張期間は2泊。だがフロントで聞いたら、いや、問い詰めたらロはここに1泊しかしないらしい。
People at his work said he'd be gone for 2 nights and 3 days, see? But the front desk here said he's only here for tonight.
お前、ローに報告がいかないようにうまくやったんだろうな。
I hope you made sure he won't find out about your snooping.
取り前だ。クレ をしてロの部屋がうるさい、部屋を変えてくれって言ってやった。そしたらフロントのやつは明日までだから我慢してくれって答えたんだ。
Damn right I did. I started shouting at them about how he's being too noisy and that they should fix things, you see, only for him to tell me to deal with it since he's leaving in the morning.
まあ旧大点か。確かにそいつは妙だな。あいつは明日に台湾支社へ行って明後日には工場の視察に行く予定になっているはずだ。
Guess that works. Still, that's odd. From what I gathered, he's visiting the Taiwan branch tomorrow, and one of their factories the day after.
どちらもこのホテルからのアクセスは悪くないはずだが。
This hotel is pretty ideal for getting to both locations, too.
まあいい。ならお前は明日も張り込みを頼む。私は別の視点から調べ物をしてみる。
Oh well, just tell him again tomorrow. I'll do my own digging in the meantime.
はあ？なんだよそれ。
Mind being a bit more specific?
今日は飯だ。台湾料理はまだ食ってないからな。私は海の幸にはうるさいが、どれ、地中海料理との違いを堪能してやろうぜ。
Let's forget about it for now and focus on tonight's grub. I still haven't had Taiwanese food yet, so I'm curious of how it stacks up against good old Mediterranean.
ま、いずれにせよ早まってロを問い詰めたりしたら逆効果だしな。
Well, guess we're better off not rushing things and messing it all up, see? We split the rest of the wine between us and finish off the cheese.
地中海はフランスのもんじゃなくイタリアのもんだ。海の幸の比較なら俺の方が適任だわな。
Hey, just to be clear, Mediterranean cuisine belongs to Italy and not France. If anyone's gonna compare its quality to the seafood here, then it's me, see? Yeah. It's gonna be so much better when we get a new set of characters and I don't have to keep talking like this. The major thing I take away from yesterday's activity is that, surprisingly, Taiwanese food ain't half bad. Yeah, they could work on their presentation a bit. Those steamed shrimp bones were delicious. Could see myself getting hooked on those rice noodles, too. Don't let me forget the spicy stuff either. Adding some doubajang and some tianmianjang really created a perfect and rich balance between sweet and sour. Oops, that's enough Odette impressions for one day. Even though my stomach regrets eating so much last night, here I am in the hotel's parking lot early in the morning, waiting for Ro, see? Once I see him leave a taxi, I make sure to follow. And now I've been sitting around this company's building for a good part of the day. Boring as hell, but I'm used to waiting by this point, you see? The streets of Taiwan are a really interesting sight, though. You can get a good hour's worth of entertainment from people watching. Too bad I still got another 7 hours left. After what feels like an eternity, I finally spot him leaving the building. Here we go. I figure he'll make his way back by taxi too, but it looks like he's hoofing it instead. It's entirely possible that the people at the front desk told me he'd only been staying one night just to get rid of me. The fact that he's not going straight back by taxi proves nothing. He could be going out for a meal with someone first. That much is normal for a corporate bigwig like him, you see. As it turns out, he ends up in an Italian restaurant in town. A ristorante, to be accurate. Italian restaurants are split into ristorantes, trattorias, and osterias. Ristorantes are the fanciest of the three. Yeah, at least he's got good taste. The glass paneling makes the restaurant easy to keep an eye on, so I waltz into a cafe directly across the street. It's got glass paneling as well, so there's no danger of losing track of him, you see. I ordered an espresso and dumped plenty of sugar into it. It's gonna be a struggle to make this last as long as a ristorante meal, but I gotta deal with it. As far as I can tell, it seems like a real fancy joint. Looks like he's made a reservation, judging by how he gets taken to a seat by one of the staff right away. Soon after, someone takes a seat across from him. A young woman. She's wearing one of those glitzy red dresses that dirty old geezers drool over. I'm pretty sure he's got a family, but it doesn't take much for me to catch on to what this is about. She ain't my type, but there's no denying that she's a looker. Doesn't seem like a random hostess either. Hardly surprising, considering the kind of person he is, I guess. Having discovered their relationship, I spend the rest of my time watching them enjoy their meal, you see. Guess he's picked out wine beforehand. Gotta hand it to him. Red wine like that'll send any woman over the moon, assuming they've got good taste. It's just a shame he's using his bread to wipe with the leftover of pasta sauce. You're gonna make that woman feel ashamed to be with you, buddy. The restaurant seems like it's more on the expensive end compared to the others around here, too. Chances are, he started going to these types of places more often once he hit a certain age. He has the appropriate manners, but sticking to them and also dropping old habits can prove to be tricky. Not like anyone's gonna call him out for it, considering his age and position. 3 hours pass before they finish eating and enjoying their after-dinner espresso. I get myself ready to leave while Ro pays for the whole thing by card. Fortunately, I know exactly what their plan is after this. Probably because I'm doing the same thing.
How is everyone?
We're doing very well, Sophie. Once they leave and get into a taxi, I jump into another one and follow them. They end up making their way back to the woman's apartment, so after I confirm they've gone inside, I return to the hotel. I don't know much about Taiwanese dogs, but some breed I'd never seen before came out to greet them both when they arrived at her place.
遅かったじゃねえか。
Took your damn time.
まあな。どうだ、そっちは。
Part of the job. How'd things go on your end? She waves her hand in dismissal. Guess she wasn't able to learn anything interesting, so now she's pissed off, you see? Meanwhile, I'm feeling pretty great, because I've got my hands on some crucial info.
じゃあ、情報を手に入れたのは俺だけってことかな。
Looks like I'm the only one who came out of this with more info then.
もったいぶらずにとっとと言いやがれバカチン。
Quit bragging and spit it out, asshole. Yup, she's pissed alright. I gave a quick sigh before explaining what I saw.
ロの野郎。真面目な顔して女と合流してやがった。
Our respectable businessman was out meeting a woman.
女？家族じゃないな。妻も3人の子供もまだ北京に住んでいるはずだ。
Not family, I assume. His wife and 3 kids should still be in Beijing.
ああ、若い女だったぜ。ありゃ愛人だな。ご丁寧にマンションに入るときキスをしてやがった。
Right, she was a young one. No doubt he's his lover, you see, considering they shared a little kiss before heading into her apartment.
悪趣味なやつだな。
What a scumbag. That's not her voice at all. What a scumbag.
だろ。あの太っちょ。真面目そうな顔した愛人作ってやがったんだ。犬にも懐かれてるみたいだから相当通い詰めてるぜ。
Right. Fanny acts all respectable when he's got a hot little dish on the side. Even her dog seems to attach to him, you see, so there's no doubt he visits often.
犬にもね。おっと、悪趣味なのはお前だぜ。中年男の恋事情を覗き見してんだからさ。
Damn, but I was talking about you. What kind of person spies in a middle-aged man's affairs like that?
あんた、イラついてるからってそりゃねえぜ。
Look, that's not his voice. Look, you can't accuse me of whatever you want just because you're pissed off, see?
ともかくだ。こいつの未練は愛人で決まりだな。
Anyway, it's pretty much a given that his regret has to do with his lover. Our last 2 attempts were regarding his family and work, but neither caused a card to appear. Might have been because we weren't entirely certain, but a part of me felt that we just weren't on the right track. I'm confident about this one though, which is why I direct my comment to the book, expecting it to churn out a card for me.
おい、どうなんだ？愛人で間違いないはずだろ？
Come on, what is this crap? It's gotta be his lover, you see? All that follows is a brief period of absolute silence, sans the sound of the air conditioning humming away in the background.
残念。読みが甘かったみたいだな。あれだけ自信満々で反応しないんだから、情報自体が間違ってるってことだろうな。
Looks like you didn't dig deep enough. The fact that nothing happened despite your misplaced confidence proves you're wrong. I have no comeback. All I can do is begrudgingly jam a cigarette in my mouth, see?
吸うなら喫煙所へ行ってくれ。私はタバコの煙が嫌いなんだ。
Mon, oh, that's not her voice. Mon, go into the smoking area. I really can't handle the smell of those things.
やり直しかよ。もういい。また明日あいつを追うんだな。
Guess we gotta start over. Want me to tell him again tomorrow? She flashes me her standard grin in response.
お前にはまた尾行をしてもらおうかな。私は今度こそ尻尾を掴んでやるさ。
I guess you can have fun doing that again. Meanwhile, I'm gonna make sure I get the right dirt on him this time around.
好きにしてくれ。今頃ロが愛人とよろしくかよ。
Whatever. Can't believe he's screwing around with his lover while I'm stuck here. Find myself eyeing Odette after saying that. Nah, I wouldn't go at it with someone like her even she asked. I ought to have a smoke after that. A little annoyed at myself for even considering that option. I wonder if any of the characters have full bodies, so we can see whether or not she's got enormous calves or not. I think she does. I headcanon that Odette has calves. We leave Taiwan in the morning, check back to the same hotel as before when we get to Beijing. I part ways with Odette, who says she has something she wants to look into, then I start tailing Ro again. Also, because we're back in Beijing, our apartment room has been flipped again. Oh, actually the chairs are different colors. I'm sorry. They flipped the image and they changed the chairs from being red to blue. Getting anything worthwhile regarding his regrets and he goes about his daily business proves to be a lot more difficult than I expected. So I make my way back to the hotel after I confirm that he's returned home.
遅かったじゃないか。
Take your time.
あんた、どこへ行ってたんだ
And where were you exactly?
まあ、どこでもいいじゃないの。さて、あとは日曜を迎えるだけだし、宴会しに行こう。初日に行った店がいいな。あそこの北京ダックはうまかった。
Oh no, we're special. We're pretty much done until Sunday, so let's go and celebrate somewhere. How about that place we ate on our first day here? Starting to crave their Peking duck again. I don't know what her voice is turning into.
ロの未練が分かったってのか
Wait, what? You found out his regret?
ああ、だがお前にはまだ教えない。指名が2人になったら優先権とやらの取り合いになるからな。
Sure did. Oh, that's not her voice. Sure did. Ain't telling you though. Last thing I need is the two of us selecting him at the same time and having to share our own info. That Gunnis did mention something to that effect, now that I think about it. Like, if two or more people elect the same person, they gotta reveal one of their own piece of their own info to everyone else to gain election priority. Sure, you'll be able to get info from the person you eliminate, but you're putting way too much at risk in exchange. Odette's removing the chances of that happening to us by not telling me. In other words, she doesn't trust me. Can't say I trust her either, though.
ところでよ。いい加減怪しまれるぜ、おっさん。
Anyway, how long you gonna hang around there like a creep, geezer?
あ
Huh? Her sudden insult takes me aback, but she isn't actually addressing me. She's looking over to the door I'd entered from. I approach the door, praying the worst case scenario in my head won't take place, and then open it.
気づかれていたみたいだね。
What voice should we give him? I see my cover was blown quite fast.
Ro-chan Ho, the very man we've been following around, standing right there. That means he's the one who's been telling me all along.
いつから気づいて
When did you...
二人で協力していたとは正直意外だったよ。だがどうにも嫌な感じがしてね。最初は裏金を調べに来たマスコミかとも思ったが、君のようなチンピラがそうとは思えなかった。
We gotta keep this voice, right? I mean, the other option we have is...
We talk like this the entire time. I admit, the fact that you two are working together took me by surprise.
But no, I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna be even worse. Blah. At first, I thought you were part of the press trying to dig into my slush funds, but that didn't seem quite fitting for a thug like yourself.
チンピラだと
Yeah, you just call me a thug, scene. He continues talking, blatantly ignoring me.
オデット・マランソン。私をこそこそ調べていた首謀者は君だね。
I assume you're the one responsible for all of this, Odette Malencone. Malunkin.
首謀者ときたか。
Malunkin.
やっぱり
Odette
私の方が
Malunkin.
偉そうに見えるってことだね。
Wow, I guess even you're smart enough to realize that I'm the brains of this operation.
そんなことはどうでもいい。
That's irrelevant.
He's right, see? The important bit is that he called her by name, meaning he's in possession of her name card. He made that clear in an attempt to bait a response from her. Chances are she realized that as well, which is why she responded the way she did.
夢の世界。なかなか信じられない話ではあったが、夢の中で出会った人物が同じ飛行機の中にいたら、信じないわけにはいかんよ。
I did find it difficult to swallow the whole dream world nonsense, but one can't help but believe it when someone they saw in a dream winds up on the same flight as them.
君のように目立つ女性は間違えるはずもないしね。
That goes double for a woman who stands out as much as you do.
Yeah, she really does stand out. Not only is she pretty damn tall, she's also built like a tank. You could say she's got looks, but those don't stand out near as much.
確かに目立つぜ。
You ain't wrong about that, you see?
おい、何ニヤニヤしてんだ。
What are you grinning at, punk?
君こそ笑っている場合ではないのでは。私がなぜわざわざここへ来たと思う。
You may want to wipe the smirk off your face. Surely you understand why I'm here, don't you?
取引だ。私にも家族がいる。こんなところで死ぬわけにはいかないからね。
Let's work something out. I have a family to support, so I can't allow myself to die right now.
お前さんは私の死因か未練のどちらかを知っているわけだ。
I take it you either know my cause of death or my regret, then. She takes a deep breath before shaking her head.
両方じゃないな。だったら最初の選定で私を殺してる。
Can't be both. You'd have killed me during the first round if that were the case.
話が早くて助かるよ。
Pleased to see that you have your wits about you.
待て。こっちはあんたの情報をすべて持ってるんだぞ。立ち聞きしてたんだから分かってるはずだ。
Hold on. If you were eavesdropping, then you should know that we've got all your info, you see?
ああ。だから私の取引はこうだ。
Indeed, that is why my proposition is as follows.
ミス・オデット。君は私を指名しないと約束してくれ。さもなければ、このチンピラに君の情報を教える。
Miss Odette, I need you to promise that you won't elect me. If you don't, then I'll tell this little thug here everything I have on you.
His expression is deathly serious, you see. I had to stop myself from cracking a smile. The room was silent as can be, but not for the reason he's hoping. At long last, Odette shatters the illusion when she bursts out in laughter. She follows it up by punching him square in the face, which sends him flying over to the opposite wall. This dude must weigh over 200 pounds, a true testament to her ridiculous strength, yeah?
何をする
Have you lost your mind? That's not his voice.
She saunters over to him, takes a seat, and laughs right in his face. He's holding his cheek after that punch, but it looks to me like his nose took more damage, considering it's gushing blood.
笑わせんな。こんなの全然取引になってねえんだよ。
Well, it's not a full body, but I guess we'll never know if she truly does have calves. It looks like she has calves, but we may never know since she's wearing boots. Also, what was that laugh? Ha 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 ha? That's your proposition? Give me a break. She's got the Sans eyes.
なんだと？今すぐ情報をばらしてもいいんだぞ。そうすれば貴様らは仲間割れに。
So you're fine with me revealing your information? Your little cooperation will crumble right away if I do.
やってみろよ。だが、そうしたら私はお前の家族を全員こいつに殺させる。
Just try it, fatty. Know that I'll have this thug kill your whole family if you do.
は？
She punches on the floor as her way of telling me to keep my mouth shut.
お前の目論みが成功して仲間割れしたとして、万が一に私が負けて、こいつが生き残ったらどうだ？お前の家族が死んだことはなかったことにはならないぞ。
Let's say your little plan works. You ever consider the idea of him making it through to the end? Your family won't be coming back to life anytime soon if that happened.
家族だけじゃなく、お前の未練も死んじまう。
Hell, not just your family. We'll get your little regret to join them.
貴様、なんて下道な。
You're beyond insane. You.
黙れよ、
You.
クソじじい。
Shut it, you disgusting piece of trash. She stands up and kicks him straight in the gut. See? Gotta say, even I think she's overdoing it a bit.
小物が生きがってんじゃねえ。お前がおとなしく死んどけば何もかもうまくいくんだ。
Oh no, I'm missing a space. I need to update the title. I was missing a space between one of the words. You're acting way too big for your boots. I want everything to go nice and smooth, so just give up and resign yourself to death.
取引がしたいってんなら、てめえも私の情報を集めてからだ。私が指名してもちゃんと防御できるようにな。
If you want to make propositions, then make sure you get some real info on me first. Enough to protect yourself if I elect you.
貴様。
You insolent little...
ビジネスマンなら0を1にする交渉じゃなく、1を100にする取引をすべきだろ。
Real businessmen wouldn't try to make something out of nothing. They take something small and turn it into an empire. She grabs him by the collar while she spits out her insults. All they can do in response is close his eyes and turn his head away.
遺言状でも書いてな。意味はなくなっちまうけどよ。
Go, write your will or something. Not that anyone will see it after you're gone. What are these? She's got zippers on her sleeves. It's like she wants to open them a little bit, but not all the way. Once she finishes, she motions me to go back into the room with her. There's still plenty I want to call her out on, but the last thing I want to do is go against her will right now. It's like I've said before. She's the type of person who tries to ultimately solve everything through violence. Once we're back in the room, she acts like nothing just happened.
さあ、飯食いに行くぞ。
Anyway, let's go get some grub, you see?
わかったよ。
Oh, that wasn't her voice. Right. This woman really is nuts. The Mafia might be doing some shady stuff now and then, but we still have some attachment to society's norms, considering we dip our hands in regular business to a certain extent, you see? Meanwhile, people like her live by the rules of the sea, like any such attachments. That realization helps to explain why even a mafioso like myself can be surprised by someone's insanity. Ro is outright vanished by the time we leave the hotel to get some food. I actually feel pretty bad when I think about how he's probably spending what little time he has left with his family. That being said, the fact that I'm here enjoying some food and booze despite it all proves how messed up I am too, yeah. Yeah, once we've satisfied our stomachs, Odette hits me with a threatening gaze.
お前、こっそりあいつと接触しようとは思うなよ。
Just to be clear, don't you dare try and contact him in secret, you hear me?
死ぬよりも恐ろしい目ってのを私は知ってるからよ。
If you do, then let's just say I know how to make people wish they were dead. He says this like it's a perfectly acceptable topic to bring up during a meal.
チェ、分かってるよ。残り2人になるまではこの同盟は続けてやる。
Yeah, we'll keep this alliance going until it's just the two of us left.
なんでお前が上から目線なんだよ。ああ
Oh, so now you're gonna act, so now you're going to act a bit like the head honcho. That's not her voice. Let me, what? I'm trying to get... There we go. I was trying to get Stream Manager to let me scroll and it wasn't scrolling. So now you're gonna act like the head honcho, huh?
分かった、分かった。両党だ。殴るなよ。殴ったらロのところへ行くからな。
Come on, you know what I meant. Just don't hit me, alright? When I go talk to Ro, if you do.
それはいい。面白い冗談だ。
Now that's a sense of humor I can appreciate. She lets out a raucous laugh, but I can tell it's phony. That's the kind of person who walks a thin line at all times, while making sure that everyone else thinks otherwise. Not that I'm the one to talk, but I do the same myself, you see. She says she wants to avoid us both electing Ro, but another reason she's refusing to tell me is regrets, because she knows there's a chance he has info on her. The fact that I've only realized such a simple truth now proves that I'm still in no position to get the advantage over her. Jumping ship to Ro's side would do worse than good for me, or more worse than good for me too. So basically, I'm best off remaining her ally.
しかし、あんぐらいでかいと殴りがいがあるな。もう一発殴っておけばよかった。
Gotta say, feels great to smack around big guys like him. Should have given him another one for the hell of it.
お前、あの時楽しんでただろ。
You were enjoying every moment of that, weren't you?
わかる？命のやり取りをしてるって感じがして最高に気持ちいいんだよ。
Oh, you could. That's not her voice. You could tell. Honestly, it's hard to beat the rush you get when you know someone's life is in your hands. You'd have to be the real dumbass to hear the wrath of someone this insane. Having finished our business, all that's left to do is wait for the second round to start. We're gonna eat some more food, you see? Yeah, it's pretty good. Phew. There's been no progress at all for these past few days in regards to divine selection. I don't really care. I'll be honest, I really don't care about Naomi. As for things with Miharu, nothing's really changed between me and Miharu ever since this whole thing started. That's not true. Oh, wait, what?
違うか。
She took a really long time to say that. There's actually been a significant change. I'm referring to the fact that we're both just acting as though nothing's changed. As for Naomi, I've been seeing her more and more recently. That's mainly due to my teaching her how to brew coffee for the culture festival. She's spilled boiling water and folded the filter wrong a good number of times, but fortunately none of our cups have been broken. Yet. That's likely due to the fact that she's aware how much my grand treasures them, so she takes extra care despite her inherent clumsiness.
今日はもう寝よう。
Might as well go to bed. I say this out loud for no reason. From what I remember, I was taken to the dream world at midnight last time. Might as well go to sleep now if that'll happen again. I glance over to the clock, which says it's 11 PM, and then I shut my eyes. I wonder if this adversely affects their sleep.
起きていても眠っていても関係ないのか。
I guess it doesn't matter whether I'm awake or asleep. I find myself in the court of fate once again.
It's as impressive as ever. And as I figured, it doesn't matter whether or not I'm asleep when the time comes. To my left is Miharu, and to my right is that Middle Eastern man. I take brief glances at both their faces, opting not to engage with either of them. Part of me is afraid of that man. He doesn't seem fazed by the fact that he eliminated someone last time. I can't imagine I'd remain that stoic, knowing I'd just stolen someone's future from them. None of the other participants speak to each other. Instead, we allow an oppressive silence to rule the court.
ごきげんよう。運命の奴隷の皆様。
I'll be honest, I don't remember what voice we gave her at all. Oh ho 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 ho! Did we already give somebody that voice? I'm trying to remember. Because no, Naomi's voice was, oh no! And then, Mao's voice was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe it. And then Miharu's voice was, Rinka, I'd die for you. I'd do it, I swear. What was Parka's voice? Was she the oh ho ho Ojo-sama? Oh ho 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 ho. I don't even remember what that was. I only remember the Kokichi voice, the good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. The one to break that silence is none other than the girl we've all grown familiar with. She stands in the middle of the court. Her posture is elegant as ever. Oh, I think it was just really condescending. I think it was just like, she stands in the middle of the court. Her posture is elegant as ever. I'm fairly certain she wasn't here when I arrived, and yet she's here now. I assume this is what it'd feel like if you saw someone teleport in front of you. She actually might be teleporting, though. Assuming the whole thing about being a goddess is true.
皆様、まだまだお元気そうでございますわね。再び死ぬ実感など、まだ湧いてはいないのでしょう。
I see your spirits are still rather high, much to my disappointment. Has the reality of your deaths yet to hit you? Just hearing her speak helps convince me that she's not lying about being a goddess. Yeah, because no one else uses that many desuas. You can tell she's looking down on us based on her ruthlessness, which somehow seems fitting for a goddess. I've definitely reevaluated my thoughts on her over this past week. Oh, those are her feet. I'll be honest, I thought those were her fingers. And this was her sleeve. I did not realize those were her legs. I thought those were her fingers.
それでは、今宵も選定を始めましょう。
Yeah, nobody else uses that many was. Very well, let us begin tonight's election. She softly announces the beginning of the
I'm
end.
hungry.
回れ、運命の大時計よ。
Revolve, O clock of fate. Should they make her sound like Fischl? Midnight, Phantasmagoria. In response to her command, the hands on the clock begin to move. The long minute hand points at me. I didn't notice during the first round thanks to my circumstances, but this is basically the method of confirming whether or not a participant wants to elect someone.
私はないよ。
I'll pass. Miharu opts not to elect anyone as well. The man appointed as numeral 3 does the same. He's tall and wears a suit. I assume he's European based on his facial features. That reminds me. How is it determined what we'll be wearing while here? I sincerely doubt he'd be sleeping in a suit. So did he get brought here while awake? Not like what you're wearing at the time reflects what you'll be wearing here either. The fact that I'm wearing my school uniform despite going to bed in my pajamas proves that. As for Miharu, she's also in her uniform. I assume we'll have to see like Odette, but I assume that they show up in whatever clothing they were wearing when they died. This outfit doesn't stand out too much, so I doubt anyone could identify it without taking a picture first, but that doesn't change the fact that info on me is out in the open. I can't do anything about it, so as long as I don't understand how to influence my appearance, though. Putting that aside, I take a look at all the other participants again. Out of everyone, numeral 7 is the only one who's visibly distressed. Maybe Parko was just acting cynical before. There's no doubt that he'll be elected tonight. I'm sure that's what everyone else is thinking too. There's likely nothing in common between all of us other than that juncture of causality thing Parka mentioned before. Our ages, gender, and nationality are all over the place. Numerals 4 and X are younger than me even. Both are girls and foreigners from what I can tell. It's the bus girl! Why did kids as young as them have to die? The fact that I can only come to know the reason through eliminating them is nauseating. Before I know it, the clock hand moves their way to numeral 11. It's a tall woman, built almost like a sports athlete. I've sneezed. I assume that they're just wearing whatever they were wearing when they died. Make the most sense. Not only are her legs nice and long, but her chest is sizable as well. She's not beating the allegations. You can tell there's no way in the world that she's Japanese based on her looks. I'm normally jealous of tall people because of my height, but even I know it's impossible for me to ever look like that. A clock hand stops in front of her. I feel like our eyes meet all of a sudden, probably because I've been staring at her for so long. Eek! I avert my eyes immediately. I don't know why, but my instincts are telling me to fear her. She's not normal. Not just because of her build. There's something fundamentally different between her and regular people like me. She's just built different. It's a different kind of fear than the one I feel in relation to numeral 12 too. Part of me gets worried that I'm about to be elected, but as I expect, she goes straight for numeral 7. The small hour hand spins to point toward him. The platforms of both of them are standing on begin to emit an odd light. After that, the minute hand shifts to numeral 12, who simply shakes his head. Looks like he's not electing anyone tonight.
11番様が7番様を指名ですわね。
Numeral 11 elects numeral 7. Very well. Parka smiles once the longer hand finishes making its way around. That's not the face one should normally make when they know someone is about to be eliminated. Both of their platforms start to move and gradually rise above us. The same thing happened last time too.
戻ってくるのはどちらか一人。
Only one of them will return. I take my eyes off the rising platforms after muttering that. It doesn't take long for them to finish. Also, as I expect, it's the woman who returns. She reports the result to Parka, her expression one of obvious displeasure.
5番の使命な。ち最後まで小物かよ。またじじいだしよ。
I got numeral 5's name. That damn geezer was a wuss right till the end. Who's 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we don't know 5. Federico Carminati, Chen Ho, Stroke, Odin, Odette Malencon. Okay, so it won't actually show us the new card that she got. It also won't show us the oh, that's interesting. It won't show us the regret. We know that she had the regret and the name and a new name and a cause of death, but we only have the name and the cause of death. That's interesting. I guess because it hasn't been revealed to the player, it's not going to show us here. I guess that's also why we don't have anything from 12. Because he knew all of 6's information, but we never learned any of that information. Obviously, he knows his own cause of death and his name, I guess. Okay. Numeral 5 looks like the oldest of us all. He's most likely Japanese. He doesn't react when she mentions that she's learned his name, although he might just be feigning indifference. In fact, the woman seems to be more transparent with her emotions than him. She's the complete opposite of numeral 12 when he elected and eliminated someone. While he displayed no emotion at all, she's openly annoyed, but deep down she seems to be enjoying this. She reminds me of a kid who gets angry when they lose a game, but secretly enjoyed the experience.
それでは今宵の脱落者は1名。これをもって選定を終了といたしましょう。
Tonight's session resulted in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. I want some more time to observe things here, but Parka brings an end to tonight's round without a moment's hesitation. Unlike the first round, I've come away from this one having learned a lot more. Unfortunately, that only serves to give me an even worse feeling about the days to come. By the time Odette eliminates Ro, morning has come. I can't even remember whether I was awake or asleep when we got taken into the dream world. It's partially due to the fact that I didn't take the time difference between here and Japan into account, but from now on, I should make sure to remain more alert on Sundays. Oh, that's not his voice. Or her voice. Once we've gotten ready to leave, we call on room service to bring us some breakfast.
でよ、結局ロの未練は何だったんだ?
So in the end, what was Ro's regret?
なんだ、まだ予想がついてなかったのか。お前が自分で言ってたんだぞ。
Figured you'd known by now. You even mentioned it yourself.
は? 俺がか?
I did. I think back to my previous suggestions, albeit without much confidence.
やっぱり愛人関係なのか?
So, it had something to do with his lover.
まあいいか。それじゃ全く気づいてないみたいだしよ。
Oh boy, you really don't have a clue, do ya? She gulps down the rest of her Americano before continuing. Gotta say, she really likes espresso-based drinks, doesn't she?
犬だよ。
Dog related.
犬? 犬ってあの犬だよな。
Dog? You don't mean...
ああ。だが、あの愛人が飼ってた犬ってわけじゃねえ。
Yes and no. A dog, but not as lovers.
あいつは犬と一生を共にしたかったんだ。子犬から育てて、成犬になれば友人になり、最後を見とる。
He wanted to raise one, to be there for it as a pup, to become best friends with it as it grows older, and to be by its side during its last moments.
ありふれた経験だが、得難い経験でもある。
Sounds mundane, but few people are able to experience something like that.
犬ごときが未練になるもんかね。
Part of me finds it hard to believe that someone can have that much regret over a dog.
なも、人それぞれだろうに。お前の国でもペットを飼うのは普通だろ。
Come on, everyone has their own priorities. Ain't it normal to have a pet or two where you're from?
俺の国ではな。
Where I'm from, huh? I'm not fond of having to talk about myself, so I try to shift topics.
ところで、なんでそれが分かったんだ?
Mind if I ask how you figured that out?
お前が愛人のところに犬がいるって言っていたのを聞いてピンときたんだ。もしかしてってな。
I thought it might be the case when you mentioned that his lover had a dog of her own.
んで調べてたら、ローの妻が犬アレルギーだったって判明した。そりゃ飼えないわけだ。
Did a bit of digging after that and bingo. Turns out his wife has dog allergies, so no surprise he couldn't own one. She spills every last bean on his personal life after that. His parents, who lived in the countryside, had a dog back when he lived with them during his youth. That dog was killed in a traffic accident, though. His family refused to get another pet after that, since the sudden shock that came from losing it was too much for him. That led to the birth of Ro's great regret.
今度こそちゃんと死を見とってあげたいってな。
He wished he could have been there for his family dog's final moments.
気持ちだけなら分からないでもないな。未練になるほどってのは俺は理解できないけどさ。
I can get what he's coming from, but I just can't imagine it turning into your life's biggest regret. She scoffs in response. Believe it or not, but this brute actually has a soft spot for animals. Hell, her ultimate regret might be dog-related as well. Not like you can keep a pet when you're always out to sea. Either way, the discussion moves away from Ro shortly after that. Over the course of his life, he kept too busy and was too financially unstable to own a pet. Once he got married and settled down, he discovered that his wife had allergies. Guess we'll never know whether or not he convinced his lover to get a dog because of that, or if she went with her because she already owned one. Hell, she could have just been some lady he hired to look after his secret pet dog. Oh, that's the only one with those answers now. Oh well, probably shouldn't concern myself with someone who's been eliminated.
で、ニュースはどうなった？
Oh, what the news have to say about him? Lingana said that anyone eliminated during divine selection would have the reversal of their deaths undone. Not only that, but any events linked to that period of time would also be undone.
俺、自分で見ろ。
See for yourself. She flings her smartphone across the table to me in response. I didn't even have to browse the web based on a reaction, so I give a casual glance toward the screen before handing it back.
2週間前、中国の有名企業の役員が会議中に脳梗塞で突然死。ぴったりだな。
2 weeks ago, an executive for a well-known Chinese corporation suffered a stroke during a meeting and died. Yeah, sounds about right.
ところでよ、あの運命の大広間とやらの上はどうなってるんだ？指名の時、上に行ってただろ？
Speaking of which, the ad's about to start, so I guess we'll have to take another water break. You see?
And we're back. Also, I'm gonna change his voice. It's just too much. It's too much. You got about an hour or less than an hour of Federico. We're gonna move on to Federico after the recast. I'm walking here. No, he's not gonna sound like that. What was the voice we used for the guy in the door guy? Speaking of which, you were taken up above the court of fate when you elected Ro, right? What's it like up there? I'm starting to find myself curious about how the election process works.
ちーと説明が面倒だが、まあ教えておいた方が今後はいいか。
Well, it's a bit of a pain to explain, but I guess it'll be worth it for you to know down the road. She doesn't seem too sure at first, but she decides to take the time to give me a primer. And a pretty long primer at that, even for someone who talks as much as she does. The circular platforms both Adet and Ro were standing on began to rotate as they were raised above the Court of Fate. Upon reaching a certain height, they stopped ascending. The layout of the upper area was similar to the lower stratum, but parts of it felt different somehow. The goddess, displaying her usual wry smile, made her own ascent before either participant could blink.
それでは指名をどうぞ。
Do proceed. After ascending, all the cards in Odette's possession sprung out from her book at once. A strange light surrounded them, masking both their number and contents from everyone's view except Odette's.
なんだ、言えばいいんだな、こいつの情報を。
So, do I just say what info I have on him out loud?
貴様
You wretched wench.
あなた様のお好きなようにカードを宣言してくださいまし。
Do as you please with the cards in your possession. Odette's eyes scanned across the cards in front of her. She currently had 9 cards, including her own. Among them were 3 specific cards she needed to read out loud. She brushed her fingers against them before speaking.
ローチャンホ。
やめろやめてくれ
Please don't. I'm begging you.
てめえの死因は脳梗塞。
Cause of death. A stroke.
私には家族がいるんだ私が死んだら家族はどうなる貴様はその責任を背負えるのか
You realize I have a family, don't you? How do you plan to account for them after killing me?
まだ間に合う指名をやめなさい金はある私は株も土地も持っている
Cease this nonsense now and I can recompense you handsomely. Money, stocks, or even land, you name it and I can provide it.
みっともね
Christ, you're pathetic.
いくら欲しいいくらでも出す私の信用情報ならいくらでも引き出せる一生遊んで暮らせるぞどうする
Please, I'll give you as much as you want. I'll even give you access to my credit details. You'll never have to work another day in your life.
え。こいつの未練はいいね。
His regret was his dog. Wait. Wait.
私はおしまいだ
This is what happened when he was a child. He ran out and he was
I
like,
just lost my dog. And my brother taught me how to chase the bag. Get right in the field, I had to make.
"It's over. It's all over. It's Chanhover."
金だろうが同情だろうが、命の対価にならねえよ。
Sorry, but you can't put a price on my life.
何より、勝負事で私が妥協するわけないんだよ。
And more importantly, when it comes to competitions, I'm always in it to win it. Because would I lose? Nah, I'd win. I don't know if it actually took a screenshot or not. I guess I'll have to take one myself. Would you lose? Nah. She'd win.
Nice to meet you.
Once Odette finished 3 of her
Mephistopheles.
that's not her voice. Once Odette finished, that's not his voice either. Hey. There's always another option. Once Odette finished, 3 of her cards floated away from her. After reaching the middle of the Court of Fate, they came together and formed a triangular shape. Is there gonna be a Danganronpa-esque animation? No, I guess not.
じゃあな、おっさん。
Nice knowing ya, geezer. Who knows whether or not you could hear her? That's not his voice either. Walk. That's not his voice either. What are you doing in my swamp? Who knows whether... Godfather. Who knows whether or not he could hear her last words to him? He simply hung his head in despair, realizing that his fate had been sealed. One by one, Odette's cards began to emit a white light.
散りゆくものに福音あれ。
May fortune shine on the departed. Said light got brighter and brighter until it eventually blanketed the entire area. And then it happened. In the brief moment that Odette's vision was blinded by the light enveloping the area, her consciousness was overtaken by an unfamiliar scene. Her senses were linked to that scene as well. She witnessed a number of old, chubby men, all wearing expensive suits and sitting in an oddly bright room. Their faces were all twisted into expressions of boredom. The artificial lighting in the room was almost blinding when it reflected off the documents they'd brought along. It was apparent that they were holding some sort of meeting. She could tell it was one of great importance, judging by the tone of their voices. However, she was unable to hear the details of their conversation. Some manner of interference prevented her from doing so. And then the unexpected struck. All of a sudden, her vision went blurry. Next, her face slammed down on the table with a thud. She was unable to muster the strength to move her body whatsoever. She collapsed down onto the floor. The unclear voices were now clearly being directed toward her. Eventually, her consciousness faded as she lost all bodily sensation. A stream of memories followed. All manner of people were talking to her, but it was impossible to make out a single word they were saying. Regardless, the sense of disconnect she felt at the moment made it clear what was going on. These were Rose's memories. Memories of the moment he died, engraved upon his very soul. As he drew his last breath, Rose's thoughts were of his dog that died when he was young. By the time the flashback ended, Rose had disappeared from Odette's sight. The card she just used to elect him did the same, and the room returned to its usual gloomy atmosphere. One thing she noticed was that the beam of light that had shone from above had grown thicker, although she wasn't sure whether or not it was just her imagination.
なるほどな。脱落させた方にも死を体感させるとは、お前の根性は腐ってるみたいだ。
So the electors are forced to experience the death of the elected, huh? You sure are messed up in the head, aren't you? Teehee, pedo. Barca opted to respond with nothing beyond a wry smile. That's not his voice at all. Barca opted to respond with nothing beyond a wry smile. In her hand were the 3 cards. Odette realized that these were the cards that were in Rose's possession.
5、使命。11、使命。11、死因。あなたはどのカードを選びますか？
Numeral 5's name, Numeral 11's name, or Numeral 11's cause of death. Which would you like? The platform on which Odette stood began to move soon after Barca asked her question.
下へ戻るまでに考えておいてくださいね。
Do take your time to think about it while we descend.
選択肢ねえじゃねえかそれ。
Ain't much of a choice. That's not right. Ain't much of a choice, is it? Well, she had imagined this outcome. The fact that she was so on the money left her visibly annoyed. Following that, both her and Barca returned to the lower level of the Court of Fate.
なるほどな。
Well, well. I tried to imagine everything she's just explained to me. Basically, you're forced to experience the same death as those you eliminate.
嫌な気分だぜ。バルカってのはあんな顔してひどいやつだ。
Man, that's freaky. That Barca girl sure is cruel despite appearances.
そうか？ なかなかにスリルがあったけどよ。
You think? I found the whole thing pretty exciting. In response, I make sure to say loudly enough for her to hear it. She keeps babbling on without a care in the world, though.
んなことより日本入りするぜ。
More importantly, we're heading to Japan next.
結局行かなきゃいけないから早い方がいいってことだな。
Might as well,
俺もそう思っていた。
considering we'll need to get there at some point.
それにあんたが取得したカードの主はどうやら日本人だったな。相当なジジイだったと思うが。
It's an especially good time to go now. What with that old new card you got belonging to a Japanese guy and all. Super old guy at that.
そういうことだ。よし、食ったら出るぞ。
Yep, let's head out after we finish this grub. Finally feels like the second round's over, now that we've decided the next move. Washing down the last flaky bits of my croissant with some milk, I stand up and get ready to leave. There's always a better option. This morning brings memories of another nightmare with it. The second round of divine selection has taken place. By this point, I've already accepted that I'm a participant. The fact that I'm alive right now makes it hard to comprehend the reality of my own death, but it's no longer about whether or not I believe it. Rather, the events that have taken place so far are starting to get me because they feel so detached from my own personal life. Divine selection's grinding along, and 2 people have been eliminated without any influence from me whatsoever. I keep telling myself that they had died over 2 weeks ago, but I can't forget the faces I saw in the Court of Fate. That alone is enough to make my heart ache. I don't want to die. Not having access to my own cards is frustrating too. There's one major reason behind my reluctance regarding all this, and it's the fact that I don't know what my own regret is. I still haven't sorted things out with Miharu, but it's entirely possible that we could both be eliminated while preoccupied with that. As afraid as I am of both the woman from last night and the guy from the first round, not to mention everyone else, I'm not about to go down without a fight.
私がやらなくちゃいけないこと。
My first and foremost priority. I have 3 cards at the moment. If I'm gonna do any digging, it needs to start with the people these belong to. I look up that Federico Carminati person after I finish collecting my thoughts. As expected, no useful information. All I learn is that it's a common name in Italy. The other 2 cards provide me with a cause of death for numeral 4 and a regret for numeral 9. All I know about them is they seem to be foreigners.
調べようがないってこんなの。
Where am I even meant to start? I actually want to look at her cards. 4 is a death, or a fire, and 9 is a metal. We don't know who 9 is though, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we don't know who 9 is. Okay, and now we know the thing there. Numeral 3. Wait, oh no, numeral 3. I got her confused for a second. Okay. So as long as it's revealed, we know who knows what. Where am I even meant to? I think I read that already. After a big sneeze. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna sneeze. After a big sigh, I said about my morning routine. There's always the possibility that the other participants don't know anything about me. Doesn't mean I can waste my time though. My own name card is among those distributed at the beginning, which means it's only a matter of time until someone puts 2 and 2 together. One thing that has me curious is numeral 4's cause of death. Much like me, their card says they died in a fire. From what I recall, numeral 4 is a boy from abroad. Of course, there's no guarantee that he got caught up in the very same situation as me. Much like how there's no guarantee that I simply died from the fire itself. In fact, I still don't recall how one broke out of the train in the first place. There are plenty of possibilities, from a simple accident to an intentional terrorist attack, but there's no way for me to find out when the act has been undone. In other words, all I've got going for me is my memory.
ああ、もうやめやめ。
Ah, screw this.
No point in forcing myself to try and remember, especially when there's a near zero chance of a hint magically appearing to help me out. Well, that's not how the morphogenetic field works, Rinka. I make my way downstairs, have some bread, and then head off to school. Faces pass and she's homebound. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
やっとお昼だよ。今日はお弁当？
Lunchtime at last. You bring your own? Mao and Miharu stroll over to my seat when the bell chimes for lunch. I'd planned on going to the cafeteria on my own, but Mao catches me just in time. We probably would have eaten separately if she hadn't, considering my mind is a little preoccupied. So much for trying to go about life as usual.
私も今から行こうと思ってたとこ。
Yeah, I was just about to head over to the cafeteria.
僕も今朝はちょっと寝坊してしまってね。お弁当を作れなかったんだ。
Actually, I overslept a bit this morning, so I didn't have time to make my own lunch.
寝坊。
Overslept, huh? Obviously, I won't ask if it was thanks to being in the dream world.
ミハルンが寝坊なんて珍しいね。さて、食堂へレッツゴー。
Sure is rare for you to oversleep. Either way, full speed ahead to the cafeteria. The university on campus has its own cafeteria, which is open for our use as well. Middle schoolers aren't allowed to use it, but once you hit high school, it's fair game. Since it's a little awkward hanging around all the university students, most of us tend to buy our food and then go eat it somewhere else. That goes double for us, considering how much we stand out. That being the case, we make our way to the rooftop after getting our food.
貸し切りだ。
Oh, we got it all to ourselves today. The rooftop is usually crowded with students on days like this, but fortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case today.
そういえばさ、二人は何を買ったの？
What'd you two get?
僕はハムサンドだよ。シンプルで外れがないし、何より安いからね。
A ham sandwich. It's simple, but it does the job. Not to mention nice and cheap.
それで足りる？
You sure that's gonna be enough?
マオこそ焼きそばパンとアンパンだろ？量で言えばそんなに変わらないよ。
I could ask you the same. Yakisoba bread and anpan isn't much more filling than what I have.
いやいや、うちはコーヒー牛乳を買ってるから、カロリーは圧勝だね。
Hey now, I got some coffee milk as well, so in terms of calories, I'm miles ahead of you. She jams a straw into the carton with a triumphant grin. It's a 16-ounce carton too. I'd probably struggle to finish it before lunchtime ends.
カロリーで勝負してどうすんの？
Why is calorie counting a competition now?
太る？
To see who gains weight the fastest?
ダメだろそれ。
Please find something better to compete in.
リータンはもう少し太った方がいいと思うけどね。
It wouldn't hurt you to put on a little more weight.
胸見ながら言わないでくれる？
I'd appreciate you not saying such things while ogling my chest.
僕は。
Yowza. As much as I'm aware of my depressing reality, I'd rather not have her remind me of it. Short and flat, pétant. Especially with Miharu sitting right beside me. They're opposite. She's short and flat, she's tall and not.
それで、ミンカは何を買ったのかな？
She got milk, so her bones grow up to be strong. What did you get, Rinka?
カツサンド。
Tonkatsu sandwich.
はい、リータンの優勝。やっぱりカロリー摂取する気あるんだね。
Well, guess we got our winner. You're on the prowl for calories too, huh?
競ってないから。
I'm certainly not competing over it. Mao asks for a bite as I unwrap the packaging. Trust her to do so before I can get a bite in myself. I float the sandwich close to her mouth, which prompts her to chomp down on it.
あ、カツまでいかなかった。
Ah, I didn't get any of the tonkatsu from that bite.
一口小さいもんね、マオ。ってミハルどうしたの？
You really do take small bites, don't you? What's wrong, Miharu? She's staring at Mao with a blank expression.
いやー、ミハルも欲しいんじゃない？
Well, maybe she wants a bite as well?
じゃあハムサンドと交換する？ マオがかじってない方をあげるから。
Wanna trade for your ham sandwich? I'll give you the part Mao didn't take a bite out of.
お構いなく。僕は揚げ物は苦手だからいらないよ。
No, it's fine. I don't particularly like fried food in the first place.
すみません。
Please accept my humble apologies. Mao presents her yakisoba bread as an offering to Miharu after apologizing. Unsurprisingly, Miharu turns her down, which elicits a laugh from her. Honestly, what a silly conversation. At the same time, it serves to remind me that moments like this are a regular part of my daily life.
リンカ
She said it for me.
どうしたの？
What's up?
いや、なんでもない。ちょっとぼーっとしちゃってさ。
Oh, sorry. Guess I spaced out there for a second. That said, I go back to eating my lunch. We keep chatting away like usual on the rooftop until just before lunchtime ends. After the final period of the day, I hear someone call out to me as I'm tidying up my desk.
先輩？
Rinka!
あ、ナオミ。
Oh, hey Naomi. Turns out to be Naomi. The culture festival isn't far off at this point, so it's about time she starts teaching her classmates how to brew coffee themselves. That's why we've made a deal to have her come over to Lion House as much as possible this week. She normally waits for me at the gate, so it's kind of surprising to see her come straight to my classroom. Now that I think about it, will everything I am teaching Naomi right now be done if I get eliminated? Based on what Parka said, it's all but guaranteed. If that's true, then why am I even bothering?
先輩？どうしました？
Is something wrong?
ごめん。なんでもない。
Sorry, it's nothing. I can't keep acting like this. Mao caught me spacing out earlier today too.
お待たせ。もう行けるよ。
Sorry for the wait. Let's go.
リンカ
Miharu stops me as I'm standing up.
あれ？どうしたの？
Huh? What's up?
羊さんと帰りかい？
Are you going home with her?
今日もうちでコーヒー入れる練習するからさ。
Yep, she'll be practicing her brewing skills again today. You want to join?
もし暇なら、ミハルも来る？
Want to join us? Assuming you're free, of course. Not like there'll be many customers in the first place, and I'm all for us hanging out together. At first, she looks happy about the offer, but it quickly shifts to disappointment.
せっかくのお誘いなんだけれど、今日もバイトがあるんだ。
As much as I'd love to, I have work today.
いや、代わりを見つければ間に合うかな。
But I might be able to get someone to fill in for me if I ask right now. She whips her phone out to check mid-sentence.
いや、バイトなら仕方ないよ。うちに来ても話すだけだし、また今度だね。
No need to cancel work for it. All we do is chat anyway, so let's do it another time.
うん。また今度。必ずだ。
Yeah, that sounds good. No takebacks, okay? Her tone is a bit poignant. Not that I blame her, it's entirely possible one of us could be eliminated during the next round. I leave the classroom after saying goodbye to Miharu. I'm sure Mao would have tagged along, but it seems like she's busy with something else today as well. While on their way to Lion House, Naomi blurts out something I don't expect.
三島先輩に申し訳ないことしちゃったかな。
I should probably apologize to her later.
ミハルに？
To Miharu? Why?
はい。三島先輩もリンカ先輩と話したかったんじゃないかなと思ったので。
Well, it seemed like she wanted to talk to you about something in private. I want to check how long the last Fatal 12 one was. If I was playing Fatal 12 the entire time. Oh, wait, was I? No, I only played Fatal 12 for about 3.5 hours. And then I played Weathering. Okay. So, I'll probably keep the same length. We'll go for about another hour. unless we come to a nice stopping point at some point. Not like super soon, but within like the next like half hour maybe. I might stop a little sooner if we come across a nice place to stop it. Well, I wish you could have come, but there's not much you can do about her having to go to work. Don't blame yourself.
いや、そうじゃなくて。
That's not quite what I meant, though.
そういえばさ、今日は教室まで来てくれたよね。
Excuse me. Oh, so what made you come meet me in my classroom today?
ちょっとでも早く合流できればって思ったんですけど、明日からはやめときます。
I figured it would be best to meet with you as soon as possible, but I'll make sure to wait for you at the gate from tomorrow on.
どうして？
Huh? Why?
Naomi struggles to find the words to answer my question. After a number of false starts, she simply tells me, "Never mind." It's worth noting that she actually seems a bit aggravated, a rarity for her. It's because I know she's got a girl crush on you, Rinka. Unbeknownst to both Rinka and Naomi, there's a girl secretly watching them from the school gate. She's always watching. Oh. Was Mishima Miharu, known at Amicha High for her looks and admission via scholarship. To many, she is the embodiment of perfection. However, this perception has made her somewhat difficult to approach for them, especially now as tears stream down her cheeks for all to see. A scenario likely to become the locus of many rumors if it involves anyone other than Miharu. In fact, it is such an unusual sight that no one will dare mention it at all.
ミハルまだいたんだ。
Yo, Miharu, didn't think you'd still be here. Amongst the crowd of students pretending they haven't seen anything, Oguma Mao is the only one to address her. Her attitude remains consistent, even in the presence of her friend crying without uttering a word. Miharu's focus never shifts, despite Mao's presence. As such, Mao follows her line of sight, only to give a sage nod after seeing the two figures it led to.
なるほどね。
So that's what it is.
ねえ、まあ、
Hey, Mao?
なーに？
Hmm?
もし死ぬとしたら、僕はインカに愛されて死にたい。
If I were to die, I'd want it to be from having earned Rinka's love. Her voice quivers as she says this to Mao. I don't know who's narrating this, so I'm going to keep talking like normal, because it doesn't seem to be from the perspective of anybody. Her words lack even the slightest hint of exaggeration. Mao is well aware that she has simply let her true
Nice to meet
feelings
you.
slip out.
M. Sophistopheles.
Thanks Pando. Miharu's words fail to faze her. She responds as she always does.
んじゃ、まだ死ねないよね。
Well, guess you can't die just yet. She opts not to wait for Miharu's reply and walks off. And not because she doesn't care. She understands that Miharu sees no merit in sitting down to hash things out, or go and sing karaoke to shout those inner feelings out loud. Instead, she leaves Miharu to digest those simple words. Miharu doesn't think of Mao as being cold for doing so either. In fact, she feels absolutely nothing at all about her. The only thing in her heart is Rinka, who gradually sinks into the horizon. Doom Jerry for real. No, they can never be together. They're like Romeo and Juliet. Hello.
私と来てるんだから誰もいないよ。
You realize no one else works here, right? Naomi drops her things off at the corner before donning the apron she brought from home. I fill in the regulars about the culture festival and tell them not to worry about Naomi's presence. In exchange for my teaching her, she's offered to help out with dishwashing and other simple tasks for around an hour or so. I've told her not to bother, but she insists on it. It's gotten to the point where it'd feel rude to keep turning her down, so we've decided on a time for her to help me out. Here's how things typically go when Naomi's around. We open at 4 p.m. on weekdays, and the hour or so after that, it's either completely dead or we have very few customers inside. That's when we either brew some coffee together or she reads up on different types of coffee beans. The latter is more out of personal interest than anything else, since it won't come in handy for the culture festival. I'm starting to get hungry. They keep talking about food and coffee. Around 6 p.m., the regulars who are just finishing up work start dropping by, so that's when I have her help out for an hour.
Afterward, she kills some time either by studying or reading books. Sometimes we chat when I've got the time too. That's how things went last week anyway.
さあ、じゃあ始めようか。
Right, let's get started.
先輩、ちょっといいでしょうか。
Oh, can I show you something first? She takes something out of her bag after I nod. What's gonna get really annoying? Oops. What's gonna get really annoying? Might as well save. Oh, I love how this is a spoiler. They're talking about things that haven't happened yet in the story. That's funny. Like, haven't happened in this today's section. I've now completely forgot what I was going to say. It had something to do with this. I just don't remember what it was. Oh. It'd be really annoying if, anyone found out they went to the same school based on their uniforms. That'd be super annoying. It's a transparent plastic bag. Inside are a number of cookies, made in the shapes of stars and hearts.
かわいい。
Oh, these are cute.
そのお礼の気持ちです。昨日は日曜日だったので、うちで焼いてみたんです。
Based on the summary, depending on how long it takes, I might stop when we go on to the next day. That seemed like it would be the next great place to stop. They're, my way of saying thanks. I made them at home yesterday. I untie the red ribbon after she hands me the bag. A sweet smell wafts through the room as soon as I do so.
もし甘いものが嫌いじゃなかったら、コーヒーを入れた後、一緒に食べてみてもらえませんか?
Would you like to have some together after we brew coffee? Assuming you're fine with sweet things, of course.
もちろん。ありがとう。嬉しいな。
I'd love to. Thanks. I tie the bag back up to prevent the cookies from getting splashed with water while we're brewing.
リボンはリンカ先輩の好きな赤にしてみました。
Naomi, we need to brew. I even made sure to use your favorite color for the ribbon.
なんで知ってるの?
Huh? How'd you know that?
わからないと思ったんですか?
Wow, you actually thought I wouldn't have known. Leaving the cookies somewhere visible, I start the brewing process.
うん。もうバッチリじゃないかな。みんなにも教えられるんじゃない?
Yep, you got this down pretty well now. You should be able to teach the others no problem.
そんな、もう少し練習したいです。初心者向けの方法ですけど、私、おっちょこちょいなので。
No way. I'd much rather practice some more. This may be a method for beginners, but we know how clumsy I can be. She can act as humble as she wants, but it's a fact that she's improving. I'm rather impressed by how well she manages it when she's properly focused. I wouldn't be surprised if she shot right ahead of me, if it were my grand teaching her.
じゃあ、そろそろクッキー食べようか。ちょっと休憩しよう。
This feels like a good time for a break. I've been looking forward to those cookies of yours. We have no customers right now, so it's the perfect moment to take a break. Can't say for sure if that's a good or bad thing, though. I place the cookies on a plate and carry them over to our usual seats along with some coffee. After appreciating how great they look, I finally take a bite.
ごくり。
Someone hits Naomi's panic button as she awaits my reaction.
おいしい。
These are great. I'm not good at making dramatic reactions, so this is the best I can do. Naomi's eyes shimmer with an excitement that matches her beaming smile.
嬉しいです。
Oh, what a relief. I have a sip of my coffee before taking another bite.
このクッキー。
Oh, actually,
どうしました?
is something the matter?
すごくコーヒーに合うね。なんだろう、まろやかな感じっていうか。
These pair with coffee quite well, don't they? I'm struggling to find a reason why, though.
実はリン 輩の苦めのコーヒーに合うようにバターを多めにしてみたんです。
Yes, I made them with extra butter so they would complement the bitter coffee you make. She lets out another sigh of relief, brushing her hand down her chest.
喜んでもらえて
I'm so glad you like them.
私のために作ってもらって喜ばないわけないでしょ。もう
There's no way I wouldn't when you went and made them for me. There are a few too many for me to eat alone, so we end up eating them together. Baking sweets is apparently one of her favorite pastimes. She can bake a whole bunch of things, but cookies seem to be her specialty. It reminds me that my gran used to bake cookies as well. Granted, the taste was completely different from these. These are simple and mellow, much like Naomi, but at the same time, they don't feel as if they were made by someone not used to baking. An idea hits me once we're about halfway through the plate.
私にも作り方教えてもらえないかな。
Would you mind teaching me how to bake these? Our customers would probably be thrilled to see more sweets on the menu. Learning directly from Naomi rather than trying to do so on my own is a much more realistic approach too. And most importantly, I want our regulars to taste just how good these are. However, I can't help but remember Divine Selection when Naomi stares at me in utter amazement. Even if she does teach me, it'll all be for nothing if I get eliminated.
ごめん、今の忘れて。
Sorry, forget I asked. There's no way I can tell her about the possibility of me dying, but I'm awfully close to doing so. There's definitely a part of me that figures I could lift some of the weight off my shoulders if I told someone about all this.
どうしてですか？
Why? Her overjoyed expression quickly clouds over as she draws her face close to mine. I must look like I'm mulling something over, so I rush to find a way to respond.
いつまでもナオミの時間をもらうわけにもいかないしね。ずっとこうしてなんて。
I can't keep taking up your time like this. Things can't continue this way forever.
違いますよね、先輩。
That's
今
not
のは本当じゃない気がします。
that's not what you're really thinking, is it? Huh?
そもそも私からお願いしたことなんですから。それにさっきの
Besides, I'm the one who asked you to teach me first. That and well, She struggles a bit before continuing.
ごめんなさい。うまく言葉にまとまりませんでした。
Sorry, I'm just not quite sure how to put this.
大丈夫。
Don't worry about it.
私ずっとこうしてたいです。
I want us to keep spending time together. Her eyes immediately shoot to the floor, almost as if she'd let the words fall out by accident.
ごめんなさい。最近私ちょっと変で。
Sorry, something about me has been strange lately.
慣れないことを手伝わせたから疲れさせたかも。今日は帰る？
You might just be tired after I made you do stuff you're not used to. Wanna head home for today?
そうじゃないんです。
That's
そういうことでは。
that's not it. She takes a small breath, raises her head back up, and looks me dead in the eyes. Her expression is almost oppressive.
失礼なことかもしれないですけれど、私の悩みを聞いてもらってもいいですか？
Forgive me for asking out of the blue, but could you hear me out for a moment?
うん。
Sure.
ここ最近嫌な夢を見るんです。
I've been having an awful nightmare a lot lately.
夢？
A nightmare? She's created a nightmare. What is that? Is it a nightmare? Created a nightmare. A hell within her head. Nowhere to go. She's all on her own. Oh, she's so scared. She's created. I think it's technically. I think the first line. I think it's created a monster beast within my brain. And then I think the next one is nightmare. Maybe it is nightmare first and then beast. Maybe it's nightmare and then well, we can see. Let's find out. Let's find out what it is. Oh, I don't have it in here. Is it in here? It is. That's very loud.
Let's see. Oh no, wait, no. Okay, so it is, it's monster first, but they're both monster. It's the second part that's different. They're both created a monster, it's the second part that's different. The first one is held within my head, the second one is beast inside my brain. Okay. And then the nightmare.
How is everyone?
最初は普通の夢から始まるんです。夢の中で
Oh, whoa.
先輩と私が一緒に電車に乗って帰っている途中で話している。
What is this? What is this frame rate counter? Yes, it always starts out normal, with the two of us getting on the train and chatting away. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the...
そしたら急に
But then a fire breaks out all of a sudden.
炎が広がって熱くって苦しくって
The flames spread throughout the entire train, and the heat alone makes it painful to breathe.
でも先輩が私を守ってくれるんです。ただ先輩はそのまま炎に巻き込まれて
But then, you dive in front of me, all like, "Get down, Miss President," and shield me from the flames, only to be engulfed by them in my place. She pauses a number of times while she talks. Her voice gradually gets more and more agitated.
ニッカ先輩はそのまま死んでしまって
After that, I can only watch they kill you.
いつからか覚えてる？
Do you remember when you started having this dream? She shakes her head, which has turned to face the floor again, and then answers.
もうはっきり覚えていないんです。けど最初に見たのはきっと初めてこのお店に来た日だったかもしれません。
I don't remember exactly, but it might have been ever since I first came here with you.
どうして言ってくれなかったの？あ、いや、怒ってるとかじゃなくて、もしここに来るのが辛いとかなら。
Why didn't you tell me sooner? Sorry, I don't mean to sound angry, but if coming here is causing you undue stress, then...
そんなことないです。私先輩と一緒にコーヒーを入れる時間が好きです。先輩と話していれば夢は夢だって割り切れるから。
That's not it at all. I love spending time with you and brewing coffee together. Doing so helps me understand that it's just a dream, nothing more.
でもたとえ夢の中でだって先輩が死んじゃうところを見るなんて嫌です。そんなこと思うはずがないのに。
It's just that... I hate seeing you die in front of my eyes, even in a dream. I'd never, ever want to see that. Never, never, never. Her voice falters on her final word. I can see the tears welling up in her eyes.
何度も何度もこの夢を見るんです。
I keep having the same dream, over and over.
それって
That's not a dream. There's no doubt that what she's seeing is the cause of my death. A number of questions pop in my head, but most of all, I'm flat out shocked. I never would have guessed that she'd been having a dream like that based on her attitude, especially when my own memory of the event is fuzzy at best.
辛かったね。大丈夫、大丈夫だよ。私はちゃんとここにいるから。
Don't worry, Naomi. It's okay. I'm right here.
There's still
死んじゃったりするわけないですよね。
there's still so much I want to do together with you, Rinka. I want to bake cookies. I want to go to the theme park again. So you won't die all of a sudden, will you? Well, I might, but it's okay because you won't remember. I can't force myself to nod in response. After all, I'd already be dead if it weren't for divine selection. What she's dreaming about actually took place. It's just been undone for the time being. It makes me wonder, when Parka said our deads had been undone, did she mean that the world's memories of the events themselves had been rewritten? I can't wrap my mind around how such a thing could even be possible. However, the fact of the matter is that Naomi's memory of my death is so deeply ingrained in her being that she's reliving it over and over in her dreams.
返事してください。
Please answer me.
ごめん。
Sorry.
違います。ごめんなさい。先輩に謝ってほしいわけじゃなくて、でもやっぱりさっきの質問に返事だけしてください。
Oh no, I didn't want you to apologize. But, well, I do want an answer to my question.
そうすればまた同じ夢を見ても大丈夫な気がするから。
So long as you do that, I'm sure I'll be fine, even if I have the same dream again.
ごめん。私は。
Sorry, but I desperately hold myself back from saying something I'll regret. I'm far worse at lying than I thought, judging by how I keep apologizing and evade the question. Her head is cast downward, but her eyes are glancing up at me. The tears in her eyes are a lot more obvious than before, and it's my fault that she's crying.
もし悩んでいることがあるなら私にも話してください。ある日突然いなくなるなんて絶対に嫌です。
Bullying girls? Not cool, Rinka. If there's anything on your mind, then please talk to me about it. The last thing I want is for you to just disappear someday. She says this with a resolute voice, despite her eyes being filled with tears. It just makes my heart ache all the more, though. She's likely to be haunted by that dream for a long time, assuming I keep the truth from her. And yet, telling her won't change the fact that I'm a participant. What's worse, I may even get her caught up in something dangerous if she decides she wants to try and help me out. I can't say for sure how dangerous this whole situation is, but at the very least, I want to make sure she never comes in contact with those people from the dream world. Most of all, I'd have to reveal the fact that Miharu is also a participant, and that only one of us will make it through the whole thing alive. Keeping her in the dark would mean I don't burden her with my situation.
ナオミにね、聞いてほしいことがあるんだ。
Actually, there's something I need to tell you too.
ナオミを余計不安にさせてしまうかも。いや、そもそも信じられないかもしれないけど、聞いてくれるかな。
This might worry you even more. In fact, you might not even believe me. That said, will you listen to what I have to say?
はい。
Of course. She answers without hesitation. Just as I'm about to start my explanation, the chime on the door rings.
ごめん。続きは明日でいい？
Sorry, can we stop here until tomorrow?
閉店するまで待っていてもいいですか？
Do you mind if I wait until you close for the night?
うん、それは悪いから。少し気持ちも落ち着けた方がいいしね。大丈夫。明日の放課後、必ず話すよ。
I'd hate to keep you here that long. Besides, I think it's better if we take a breather. Don't worry, I'll promise I'll tell you after school tomorrow.
わかりました。
Okay. She nods enthusiastically and then helps put the tableware away. She leaves as I get back to work. Meanwhile, I try to focus on my work as much as possible to distract myself from my own uneasiness. I think this is a perfect time to
Yeah. Okay, so that's not exactly what I thought that was gonna play out, but I think this is a good time to. I'm gonna snooze the ad. Seems like this is a good place to wrap things up for the time being. New day started, and we've almost been going for 3 hours, so I think this will be a good place to stop for now. I was not able to. Well, I might still be able to, but I don't think I'll be able to get out what I had planned to get out tomorrow in terms of video. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna try and rustle up another clip video or something like that. I had something else unrelated to streams and stuff like that was planned, but I think it's gonna take a lot longer than I initially thought it was going to. So, yeah, see about that. Also gives me a excuse to start getting the VODs done, because I got I think one of them done. I think I published 2, but one of them was previously done, if I remember correctly, and I just waited. Let me double check YouTube Studio real quick. Yeah, I think, yeah. So we're like a month behind, or I'm a month behind. But yeah, 2 videos came out recently, but they were actually, one of them, the SMP one, was actually done a long time ago. I just had it privated. The other one came out that was new, so I'll probably see if I can get some of those out. But bigger priority is going to be if I can get a video out for tomorrow, keep up the weekly uploads. And then on Thursday, I don't know what we'll do, if we'll do more Fatal 12 or not. And then Friday, we're going to do Windcraft again. And then next week, so not this Friday, but next Friday, it'll be SMP, and I don't think I'll be able to make it there. So we're going to do Wind twice in a row. And hopefully we'll be able to get the Harry Potter quest done. We should be able to. We can run Undergrowth a couple more times, and then everyone should be level 59 to do Order of the Grook. So that'll be fun. Anyway, thank you all for watching today's installment of Fatal 12. We are now down to the Fatal 10, however. So, what I might do is I might make a And Then There Were None-esque kind of poem, like the Agatha Christie, like 4 little monkeys, blah 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 blah, one of those. I might make one of those. I've done some for the Danganronpa games, so I might make one for this game as well. We will see. So, that all being said, I don't know where my camera is. Thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna see if this works. Goodbye. Oh, it didn't work? Okay, cool. Well, bye.